Welcome back, everyone. Sorry about that. Going to do the second match out of the Group 1 of the round robin. We have Rom versus Zan. And on commentary, once again, we have Corporate Image, Super Handy, Carbon Drank, and Doc Cobrant is replacing AG Dietz. So without further ado, I will give the runners the countdown, and we can just start this match. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good luck, runners.
And they're off.
And they're off. Let's see what their starting characters are. Who did we have in the first round? Or the other
It
round?
was Lena and
Mickey. Yeah, that's right.
And we
Oh,
got
we got Lena again?
and is that
So Zappa.
Very nice. So welcome everybody to Chrono Cross Speedruns. We're doing the Lynx 2 category, or Lynx at Fort Dragonia. It's very similar to the any percent run, but some slight differences. The main one being time. This is only going to be about a 2.5 hour run, give or take.
Right, very truncated version of the full run. Well, in the dream sequence, we're going to see how people deal with the enemies and if the bats are in a nice place. Ooh, looks like Rom.
Wow.
Okay, he got through. Ah,
That is unfortunate. They both had the same type of bat, but it looks
Yeah.
like Zan was just a pixel off or something. That's just...
Unfortunate.
Well, we were taking bets on if we could get a encounterless dream sequence. Not the case.
that did not happen.
Yeah. In any percent attempts that I've been doing, these bats are honestly a run killer just right off the start. Just they can be so troll.
It's just bad mojo.
They really drive you
it's like,
batty,
oh,
don't they?
They do.
Oh, Zan's got a bad bat. Oh, he's got to take this slow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so rough. Ooh,
Oh.
yeah, that's
Yeah. Okay.
Well then,
that Cybot was in a poor position. He
Cybot
couldn't-
was.
interesting start here.
Though, funnily enough, this is the only time that you will see that silver swallow that Serge is wielding. Yeah,
It's
it's
actually
just
true. I didn't even think about that.
yeah. These bats are so rough because you have to pass them 3 times. There is some safety under the bridge and that ladder on Zan's screen to the top right, but yeah, bats have not been kind today.
Nope.
Yeah, so for this run, and for all Chrono Cross runs, we have the ability to dodge just about every enemy in the game. There are a few like ambush spots, but we know how to deal with those. So technically we can dodge every enemy. If we get an encounter, we want to run away immediately if we can. Some positions don't allow us to, and we have to fight the enemy. But generally speaking, we want to run, and it will cost about 20 seconds of time, give or take. So for this category, since it's only about 2.5 hours long, every encounter can really make a difference. But luckily, both of them are on an even pace here with one encounter each. So it's a good start.
Looks like they're leaving the dream sequence. I'd say roughly about 10 seconds apart. So still very close already.
Yeah, I believe. Do you guys know ROM is running on PS2, and I believe Zan is running on emulator, not.
I believe that's the case. I think that Rom is playing PS2, and I think Zan is Duck Station, I believe, or whatever the
Yeah, and
yeah, I didn't know what it's called.
and Zero is running on PS3 last round. So tons of options to get into this game in this category.
And this is the perfect category to do it in. This is a very, with it being truncated, it's also, a very beginner friendly in terms of time, like in terms of like commitment to learning to run. And it also teaches you all the things that you need to know to move forward with like the any percent run.
Yeah,
Exactly. The regular any percent run for Chrono Cross, there isn't a lot of skips in the game, so we basically follow the mechanics and story and do as much as we can to clear that as quickly as possible. But it still takes about 7 hours to do. So this category being about a third of that time is very beginner friendly and it's relatively similar to the any percent category.
Yeah, Yeah, it's a very approachable speedrunning game, especially this category with just how it's shorter, and there's not much like too many glitches you have to learn or tricks and whatnot. It's just the battle mechanics for the most part and movement. Even mashing you don't have to be super great at. The game actually has a couple options for an X input. I believe it has like 3 between the L3 button, X, and R2, unless you want to reconfigure. So as far as just even if you're new to speedrunning and want to get involved, this is a great category to even just get your feet wet.
So story-wise, we're meeting up with Lena, who is like our girlfriend, or is our girlfriend. And because we overslept, she's stuck babysitting kids while they swim in the ocean, which is really dangerous. But she wants us to go out and collect Komodo scales, which is kind of like an engagement ring in this village of Arnie. And that's what we're going to do, because we can't say no to Lena, because she's kind of bossy.
Yeah, so the things that we're going to need for those Komodo scales, we're doing it so we can basically build her a necklace. To do that, we have to fight 3 Komodo fights, really. And we're going to go into this next area to do so. And additionally, not only just like with the plot, to move forward with the plot, we also need to hopefully get a fang, 2 humors, and a feather as drops from here. Those are not guaranteed drops. Those are going to be useful in about 20 minutes or so when we go to forge better weapons. So they're going to have to change what they're going to be doing depending on what drops they get.
Alright, Rom entering the first Komodo pup fight. See what he gets. I missed. Alright. The 2 sand scorch and the Komodo pup, probably the least favorite encounter here, because there's a 10% chance that the Komodo pup will drop a feather, which is one of the crafting items we need. And most of the encounters in this area have 2 Komodo pups in the encounter, but this one for Rom is only 1. Zan got the double Komodo pup, which is the fastest type of encounter here, and also has a good chance of getting the feather drop. Alright, fang and bone for Rom.
And for Zan, both
Bone
bones. No feather thus far. So
But
getting
we'll
a feather will save about 15 seconds or so. Go ahead, Carbon.
I was gonna see if they were gonna wait for this bum to walk down. Ooh, that's unfortunate for
man.
Rom. Normally, most people will take this fight, just because it's kind of hard to dodge. You have to generally fight a beach bum anyway, but Rom was kind of running circles and got caught a little bit.
Looks like they both got the double beach bum encounter, which ups their
It's
chance
nice.
of getting the humor drop, and having 2 humors really helps out a little bit, saves on a menu later on.
Yeah. Ooh. Oh,
One
he got
humor.
trolled. So he got rare dropped on one of those beach bums. He had the perfect encounter that he wanted, which should give you 2 humors, and we'd be done with the materials we needed. But Zan got it
They
too.
both got it.
Wow.
So we should mention there is a backup if you only get 1 humor, so they're not going to take an extra fight out of their way to get it. Basically, when we go to fight the Karsh Salt and Pepper fight on Cape Howl in about 10 minutes or so, you get dropped a mail that we're basically going to change out with the armor that Poshul has, and that we can disassemble that for other humor. The risk with that is that you're not necessarily guaranteed the mail drop either in Cape Howl, which then leads to a whole different path of like, I guess you'd have to go for Ivory Dagger in a race scenario, right?
Well, you could always go back to Cape Howl with Lean and Posture,
Oh, that's
but it
true.
is a significant time investment to do so.
Right.
Yeah, but all these drops we're talking about, while they're kind of necessary for the run, we're not going to be locked out of it. Like, one item we need is a fang, and these blue sand squirts that Zan was taking care of, they commonly drop the fang. That helps with kids' dagger later on. And
Right.
if we don't get a fang, we have a backup where we could disassemble an axe for it. So while we're hoping we get the drops we need to save time, if we don't get them, it's not the end of the world or end of the
Right.
run.
It's never it's never gonna run kill you. It's just I think we're all looking at it from the lens of like speed running and like we want to go fast.
Exactly. All right. So Rom got a bad AP roll. On the Mama Komodo, only 1 stamina. Got a full refresh there. It's good. Oof.
Ooh.
20%.
I think that was one of those. I think it was one of those accuracy visual bugs.
Oh
I
yeah,
imagine.
yeah. Okay. All right. Kind of a rough Komodo mother fight, but took care of it.
Oh, did Rom forget the fireball in the first one?
Yeah, it didn't fireball the Komodo pup, so it was interesting workaround.
So we're gonna see if not only with the drops he gets, but we're gonna see if Rom gets a stat up. He did not. Oof.
All right. So Zan is very close behind Rom, so this is still a pretty even race so far. Let's see what Zan gets with drops and strength ups or not. Strength.
Oh.
Feather. Ooh, all right.
Ooh.
So Rom
That's
did
good
not
for
get
him.
a feather drop, which means he's gonna have to invest in like 15 seconds to go pick one up, and Zan can just go.
Right, which actually means that they're pretty close right now, like closer than what it appears at the moment. And honestly, I would take a 10-second slower fight or 15-second slower fight for a strength, I think, every time. I mean, there's no guarantee one way or the other, but like Zan is appreciative that he did get that strength.
Yeah, apparently Daffy's saying he got a magic as well, which is quite significant. It's something we tend not to notice as much, but him having a more powerful fireball in the next 2 fights can make a big difference.
Right.
Yeah, so for those new to Chrono Cross speedrunning, one of the things we keep track of is stat ups, because stat gains in this game are random. So we tend to keep track of strength for the most part, and as we just mentioned with magic on Serge, it's not as much of a factor, but it will play a factor later on in the run. So the reason we keep track of it is because depending on our strength levels will determine what we can do in certain fights. Some fights will be quicker than others. Some of them will be slower than others because of our stats. So it's just a thing we keep an eye on. If you get bad stat growth, it's not the end of the world. You're just going to be losing time, and it will require better judgment against certain enemies when you don't have the necessary stats you need to not make as many mistakes.
Right. Essentially,
So
you can get through the game with like lower than average stats. Obviously, it's just having the higher stats or above average stats will essentially cushion you so that like you're allowed to make more mistakes because you get kind of helped through with having just good stats.
for sure. Yeah, I mean, there has been so many times where I've had like 13 strength leaving Lynx 1, and I'll be on like a 53-minute pace or a 52 for it.
Nice.
And it's super fast, but my stats are so low, and so you don't really expect to be that fast with that value. But it's just that later on you're generally, unless you get very lucky, you're gonna lose some time because your damage just won't be there. So you'll
Right.
go an extra round on the next fight and then the next fight, and so it's 10 seconds here, 10 seconds there, and it just starts to add up. But strength isn't the end all be all, though it is important. The biggest thing, especially for this early section, is do you hit and do you crit?
Yeah, I was just about to mention that. Like, alternatively, the having strength doesn't necessarily mean you're going fast either. There's AP rolls, which is action points. If someone can jump on that if they want to, and then there's like misses, like Carbon was just mentioning. There's a whole bunch of things that just you want to go your way for like a smooth run.
Yeah, I guess we should explain kind of what's going on story-wise. It's hard to explain because this game can be very confusing, but Serge had a very strange encounter here, and he ended up in another world, a parallel world to his own. In this world, the main character has died, but we're gonna find that out later and do our best to, well, get our way back home.
So I think this is our first time seeing someone grab the backup feather. Well,
Yeah.
no, we saw Zero do it, but
Yeah,
he
yeah.
grabbed it later. Rom's doing it on time. And you have to be a little careful on this re-entry with these fishes. That looks good.
Yeah,
Yep,
you'll
he
see
should
on
be
the end
good.
screen, he's just gonna go. So
Ooh, it was actually kind of close, but he was good.
Yeah. Yeah, you saw Zan walk a little bit. He didn't have to do it. It looks a little close, but you're fine to just book it. But he walked for
Right.
safety. And yeah, you can see that just that feather pickup helped Zan kind of, make up the lead a little bit.
Yeah, so plot-wise, we're now going to return those scales that we just got, go to Lena over here, and then we're going to find out that Lena's like, who are you? I don't know you. Get away from me. And so she's going to send us on another quest to go see Serge's, as she mentions, grave up in Cape Howl.
Yeah, so in this parallel world, 10 years ago, we were attacked by a panther demon, where in our normal world, our father took us, got us fixed up, and we survived that panther demon encounter. But in this world, we died, and so Lena is telling us here that boy died. He drowned 10 years ago, and so we're like, but I'm right here, and so we have to go see our grave to figure out what's going on.
Well, in both worlds, the Panther Demon is survived by both. But mysteriously, there was a drowning that was 10 years ago that happened in the other world, but not in our home. Because in our home, we clearly did not die because we're still alive.
right, later on in the game, especially at the very end, you can see we'll get a more exposition on what exactly happened, to kind of clear up the gaps. But looks like Zan,
I
something
think Zan
happened.
survived. We probably just have to click the refresh on the VOD or on the browser, but
Okay.
he should be still going right now.
Yeah, it looks like we need there.
There we go.
There he
Okay.
is. Yep.
There
yep.
goes Dine.
Neither one of
s-
them having to do any Cape Howl beach bums, so that's a good sign.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're still pretty even.
Yeah, they're both. Looks like they're talking to this the tomb at about 17 minutes or 16:50. I try to shoot for 16:30 or faster, just for world record attempts. But this is a fine time. Ideally, what you're looking for is to leave this fight at around 20 minutes. In this
Right
fight.
there. Go ahead.
I was gonna say that this fight is tricky. So this is pretty much our first tutorial. Normally, casually, you would talk to Radius, the elder of the village, and he teaches you all about the battle system and everything. But then there's also this fight, which does a tutorial where it's going to teach us about elemental opposition. So they'll be like, "Hey, Serge is a white element. Use black." Well, maybe that one's later. I forget what they talk about this one.
Yeah, there's several of the tutorials. You get them mixed up pretty easily.
Yes, I do. But the main takeaway from this is that we can't actually do damage to them until this tutorial is done. So what we're going to see both runners do is they're going to defend until Salt attacks us. Oh yeah, it's this tutorial where they tell us to do how to do elements, and then they're like, no one brought an element to do.
Yeah, Karsh
Right.
scolds them for not bringing an element. They're like, all right, Karsh, show us how it's done. He's like, you don't need that kind of crap. So
So you can see Rom defending until Salt attacks attacks Serge right there. Basically, the damage you do beforehand doesn't matter. Like in the story, like you cannot kill Salt, Pepper, or Karsh here. So they're gonna defend until that, just to not waste time. The faster that Salt actually does go and attack Serge, the better.
Also, there it was. I was right. They tell us that we're white and to use a black element, and no one has one. So then later they'll learn from it. But ooh, looks like Rom's kid got a magic. 20 damage on that magma bomb.
yeah, low strength but high magic. So
Yeah, so he was able to.
Right?
Zan's kid has high strength, see if Magma Bomb is high damage. It's also high. Wow. All right,
Yeah.
good kids all around.
Looks like Rom forgot to do a fireball on Karsh. We'll see if this kills. Yeah, he's short. So normally, what you would do is have Serge do a fireball first to boost Kid's damage in both her attacks and the fireball to kill. So he had to just run up to finish off Salt, but this looks okay.
Hopefully
he'll
it's a good refresh.
Eh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so for all the fights in this game, there's a bit of flexibility when things either go wrong or not to your liking. And in the early fights especially, you know, the runners can adapt and kind of make use of what they have. So Rom did not get a very good refresh, but is making pretty good use of defending and so forth.
Yeah, Zan also did not get a good refresh, but he just defended, let Karsh go, and then he's able to just go for it now. This whole fight is really about killing Salt early and then getting a good refresh. Kind of like you don't have to, but if you're efficient with the stamina that you use, ooh, Zan just got the power glove drop.
Oh, nice.
And I think
Okay.
they both got the common ivory vest as well.
Yeah,
so
they got
should
the-
have two humors.
So Rom did not get a strength up for Serge, but he did get it for Kid. I think Rom's Serge is still at 9 strength, but Zan's Serge is at 11, which is really good.
Oof. Yeah, that power glove will come in clutch. If Zan gets
Yeah.
1 more strength in the next 2 fights, he will effectively be at 13, which is a nice breakpoint for the fights to come.
Yeah, Zan also got a power glove. That's true.
Yeah.
Additionally, coming up is one of the hardest tricks in the run. They both have to deny Kid 3 times because we do not want to put Kid on our team because we want to go down the route where we get Lena. Lena's going to be very important for the later part of the run. But many a runner has accidentally, probably on more than one occasion, accepted Kid on one of these 3 text boxes.
Everyone, bated breath.
All right.
Zan going very slowly.
Slow. Yep.
Very smart. All right.
There is
It actually.
There's a backup you can do, though it's not really routed or written in notes. We say no to Kid to get access to Lena, who's a blue innate magic user. And we can also, if you somehow say yes to Kid, you can go down the Nikki route into the Manor, who is also fairly magic-y with and blue innate. But that route is far slower.
Right.
Has anybody tested whether it would just be easier to reset or go down the Nikki route?
I don't
It
think
would-
anybody's. Go ahead.
Oh, that's a good question.
Well, it would be faster to do the Nikki route because you've already invested 20 minutes at this point. Nikki's route is maybe 5 minutes at most. I think it's probably closer to 2. But there is, as PH likes to point out, you can also use Pierre as your magic user, though his stats are very low. So I think you would be bold and quite brazen to try Pierre.
Sounds like a challenge.
He has no peers.
Ah. Got it. So we're going to, because we reject Kid, we get Lena, and as a bonus, Pashul. And we'll make immediate use of Pashul and I guess Lena in the next fight.
Depending on
So-
how things. Oh, go ahead.
go ahead.
Sorry.
No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say, depending on how things end up going in terms of like misses and stuff like that. Although Rom is a little bit ahead right now, we could start seeing some gaps being caught up from Zan with having 2 extra base strength and the additional power glove. Versus, I believe Rom is still at 9 strength.
So Zan is going for the old strategy of the magma bomb. This has fallen out of favor recently. It is a good strategy. It's what everybody used to do, but Versus attacking, it tends to take about 15 to 20 seconds extra. It can be consistent because you get a bunch of damage on everyone and don't use some, and you kind of get some stamina to play in your favor better. But it takes about 10 to 12 seconds to grab the element and then put it on and then to use it. So
Right. No, yeah, I agree. I think most people have slowly switched over to doing the non-magma bomb strat, but magma bomb strat is, as Carbon was saying, still very much a usable strat. Let's see if they both dodge this. Oh,
Zan is playing this very cautiously.
yeah.
Nice dodge for Zan. Alright, we get another tutorial fight with Salt and Pepper. They're going to teach us about turn black and turn white, because Salt is mistaken that by using a turn black on Serge is going to weaken him, because Serge is white element innate. But that's not how that works, so Pepper will point that out. Immediate strengthen, though. That's an interesting turn.
That's very early.
Ooh. Yeah, it's so early.
Ooh.
And this fight's so random. There's so many.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate that the defend counts as your turn, and then he got the 0 roll. This I think it was Rom that got the magic. Ooh.
The really risky thing here with the early roll and of the strengthen is we're putting reds on the field, but that also means that we might potentially see 2 pepper boxes from Pepper.
I wonder. So
dangerous.
did he just low res Serge? The
I actually
so-
did not see that.
So I've been thinking and coming to terms. We'll see if he pepper boxes this next turn. I'm still trying to figure this out, but he does. So I think his AI is scripted to pepper box whoever gets low res. So if you can skip that low res by killing Salt early, you get to skip all of that. And if he hits Lena with that pepper box, especially twice, she is dead.
Yeah, she can die. And that's really rough because that means you miss up on a potential magic up, which comes into play later.
Yeah, overall, good fight for one being at 9 strength and that 1 roll on the
And
strength.
the triple miss for Zan.
Ooh.
Oh,
It's good to
Lena, no? Okay.
acknowledge Rom finally did get his first strength up. Finally.
Oh, partial. Come
No.
Oh,
No.
bad
No.
doggy. No! Oh!
Oh, the dodge. Lena,
See,
she knows what's up.
Lena.
She knows she's important. All right. Got through the fight. No
Yeah.
deaths. We're all good.
yeah,
Oh,
this
man.
is an example of CC showing exactly what we were talking about, where although Zan has much more strength and with the power glove and everything like that, if you can't hit anything, all that
it
strength doesn't mean
matter.
anything. Yeah.
What good is it if you're blind? That sorry, I was gonna say that Lena getting that level up is very important. Even though she didn't get a great level up, she got a strength and a little bit of health. One, you really want that opportunity for the magic, but you also really want the defensiveness that can come out of it. As we saw in, I believe it was Azala's run, she had high defenses and still died against Polly. So if she, misses these defenses and this health, it's so much more likely that she dies, further making it her less magic-y.
What's interesting about watching these racing runs is that if you're just watching speed runs, you never get to see those terrible stats. People trying to continue because at this point, if you don't get any strength, you're just reset.
That's right.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, normally you're fighting enemies left and right. You're getting mini stars, which are like little level ups, which give you the opportunity to get more strength, resistance, etc. But for the speedrun, we just go straight to the bosses, fight any enemy we need to, but generally we're gonna avoid all the enemies along the way.
And as PH in chat says, he says it kind of depends on who's running too. That's true. It also depends on like what you're kind of running to get at the moment. You don't have to. It's not like super reset heavy if you're first getting into the game, or you're not like trying to go for like a low time, but like as you get lower and lower times, yeah, for sure it can become kind of reset heavy.
So in Termina, for story-wise, we're trying to make our way to Viper Manor. There are 3 routes to take. One is Guile's route, which I'm sure most people have taken and casually. There's Nikki's route, and then there's Pierre's route. And we mentioned a little bit about Nikki's route recently, but what we're going to do for the run is to do Pierre's route, which is the fastest way. Pierre is arguably the worst character in the game stat-wise, but his route just makes up for it. So he's just going to be joining us and tagging along, but we're going to be doing all the hard work. Before that, we just picked up an item called the Profiteer's Purse. It's an accessory that gives you more money after the end of a fight. But if we disassemble it, we get access to iron, which is a tier 3 material, which we normally don't have access to this early in the game. And with the materials we were going after in Lizard Rock, the humor drops, the feather, the fang, we can use that iron to create a steel swallow and an iron dagger. And that way that's going to give us a lot more attack power going forward, and it'll improve our hit percentage. So we didn't really touch on the game mechanics for fights yet.
Oh, that's true.
But we can do that later.
Yep, so here we are. We're about to grab Pierre. I think one of corporate's idols in the game.
Hey, he's great. He's great.
But he's gonna tell us like, hey, I would love to go with you, but I don't have my medal, But luckily, one of the kids outside just happens to be running around with it and is a good kid.
Yeah, it is a bit fortunate that the medal is just right outside.
Right.
But interesting to note, Rom accidentally disassembled the bone axe. He didn't need to. Generally, so the bone axe disassemble is a backup if you don't get a fang, but he had enough already. So later on, we tend to sell that, and it's 240 gold that Rom will not have now.
Well, perhaps he just had an axe to grind.
There you go, Doc. Yeah, it is a backup. It's hard to remember that one because we're so focused on the humor drops and the feather drop that we don't consider that we might need a fang. But luckily there are strats to deal with that in case you don't want to disassemble the axe. You can still get through Viper Manor without upgrading Kid's dagger. It's not fun, but it's possible.
Yeah. Also to note, actually, with Karsh, both of his drops, the Power Glove and the Bone Axe, you're technically guaranteed to get a fang because you can disassemble the Power Glove for a fang. But
really?
I would call you crazy if you did that. And
right.
People think I do some insane strategies.
I think I'm gonna have to do that. I'm gonna have to do that in the future.
Oh,
just to prove a point.
Your Power Glove luck? You're cursed.
Yes, Las Vegas 728. Pierre route is the fastest because it takes us right to the gates of Viper Manor and we literally just charge through. We fight our way into the manor. With Guile's route, we have to get Korcha involved, sneak in, go by the cliff side at night, and it's pretty cool, but it takes a long time. Nikki's route, we go through the forest, go through the sewers, and up and end up in a well on the inside of Viper Manor. But here we just charge.
Both of them have a really low. It doesn't matter, but both of them have a really low strength Pierre, 3 and 4. I think he can be as low as 2 strength.
Yeah,
I've never seen 1.
I have seen him at 6 once.
I've got him like 5 or 6 times at 6 strength. It's great, but I always hope for 2.
Also, something that we haven't touched on is Pierre not only being the fastest route, but he's going to serve a very important purpose that I'll keep a surprise for the next fight after this guard fight coming up. So far, a very good guard fight, though.
Yeah, so talking about the battle mechanics of the game, you have your moves, your melee attacks divided into 3 attacks. You have a 1, a 2, a 3. And that goes, so a 1, you have a high chance of hitting, but it does low damage. 2 is in between, and 3, you have a low chance of hitting with high damage. So, but as you attack and you hit, your hit percentage will go up. as you hit. So the game kind of intends you to do like a 1-1-2-3 combo. That way you get the most out of it. However, for the fights we go through in the game, we have to mind when the enemy is going to go. And we could discuss like the AP system in a minute, but so the runners will choose what attacks to take for fights so that they can maximize their damage and minimize the amount of times the enemies get a chance to attack.
Zan is just having an insane strength growth right now.
Yeah, he's at
He-
effective 14.
Yeah, he's 13 with the power glove. So even if he gets like the revive doesn't go off on this fight, he'll still be at the break point to get this, I believe.
Oh, and we just witnessed the main purpose of Pierre. We put him in the front because we need him to tank that hit for us. Whoever's in the front of your party, and when you go into this fight, takes that hit.
Yeah, it's a one shot on anyone if they don't dodge all 3 attacks, and we really want the revive to go off as well. Not that we can control any bit of it, so we're just like, Pierre, we love you. Sit down.
I love his KO pose too, just splayed out on the ground for all to see.
So,
And luckily, both of them got the Pierre death, so they both get the revive and the wide on the field for Serge.
Yeah, we'll see if Zan goes for the 3-3 on catch up first. Rom did a 2, then a 2-3, and he got attacked during it. He wasn't at the right strength value to really get the fast kill. Oh, he's going for it. Oh! He got Chrono crossed so hard. Oh man.
60
So now he's
HP.
missing like 40 damage.
Yeah, Daffy in chat says 60 HP versus 91 HP Pierre. Yeah, so not only are like regular like strength up and stats like that random, so are the HP values that you get rolled.
Yeah, by this point in the game, we're kind of hoping that Kid has a decent amount of HP because she's going to face up against a terrifying enemy for her that can easily knock her out. But if she has high HP, that's less likely to happen.
Okay, so Zan didn't get punished. So this is actually one of the reasons why I like the 3-3, even though he missed. You saw on Rom when he did a 2, he then got attacked by Salt. You can get a little trolled on this, and after Salt and Pepper attack you, their next move is going to be a low res or a strengthen, which takes about 10 seconds each. And so the 3-3 just helps kind of it makes the fight a little consistent in the sense that you're normalizing the AP.
Rom just get a +2 strength.
Yep, Rom got +2. He's now at 13 strength.
That's good. That means he can one round a guard. So
Right.
his strength problems have now, for the most part, been alleviated.
I don't think Rom got the magic ring drop, but Zan might. There's a 10% chance that Ketchup will drop an item called a magic ring, which gives you a +1 to your magic score, and that will come into play later.
Is he gonna get it? Is he gonna get it with the power glove? No.
No. All right.
Damn.
So Rom, I didn't really expect. I'm not sure if Zan will either. I think they're both. Well, no, they're not. I was gonna say Rom's been running for a little bit, but I wasn't sure if they were gonna go for guard skip or not. But I think we've had one runner so far. I don't think that both of them went for it last time. But Azala did get it last run, so I'm wondering if Zan will also go for guard skip.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he might. I don't really remember, but Rom definitely is not since he's in the fight, and he got a 4 guard, which is a bit.
Unfortunate.
Yeah.
So not only is guard skip like a like 1 frame ish thing, neither one of them went for it, but it's actually not necessarily, if you're not gonna go for it, it's not that bad because you can just run into the fight. The worst thing is going for it and failing, because then you just lose extra time for going for it. You get punished.
Yeah, I believe the consensus is you can, because you can run from the fight, it'll actually put you not at the door where you like enter. It'll put you at like the screen load on the left side, and the guards will still be where they're at. So you can go for guard skip basically an infinite number of times. But if you fail, if you get it on the 3rd attempt, it's basically even to if you had a normal good fight.
Right.
So it looks like both of them, I mean, they like Oh man, Rom had a bad
Ooh.
guard in his way. I was like, what's going on?
I didn't even see the guard, I'm be honest.
Yeah, good moves by Rom to not get hit there. Yeah, it's really dark on his screen. Oh man, oh Zan's got it too. Whew. Man, these guards.
Ooh. Barriot in chat asks, hello, is the goal of this race to get to the part where you control Lynx? Yes, that is. In Fort Dragonia, Lynx 2% is to get to Fort Dragonia where you change bodies, essentially. It's about a third of the full run.
Yeah, so this category is about 2.5 hours, give or take, and we're only about 40 minutes in. Right. So when you agree to feed the dragons for 10 times in a row, the pattern is always the same. It's 2, 3, 5, 1, 4, 2, 3, 5, 1, 2 from left to right. There's a difference.
Rom is on his wheelies or whatever.
So our
He's feeding
reward
all the
is
dragons.
the key to the manor, and so we'll be able to, where the door that the guards were guarding, you can't enter that door until you get this key. And you can't get the key until you do the mini game. All right, both our runners are still pretty close at this point.
Yeah, this is nice. This is exciting.
Mm-hmm. Actually, this has so far been a good showcase of how like your stat line doesn't. It's not everything.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's not like the end all be all.
Yeah, it's. I mean, and with Rom getting that +2 at the catch-up fight, right? Like, I mean, he was what we thought was going to be a horrible spot, and now he's at an ideal strength value.
Right.
Yeah, that fight allowed him to catch up in strength.
Oh no.
That was good.
Also, for anybody wondering, why we always just put 0, 0 for the first statue code is it is actually impossible to, like, even if we wanted to and you wanted to try to get really lucky, you can't guess the code on the first time. You have to fall down and get trapped.
Yeah, so after this guard fight, we're going to be collecting some items and eventually looking for the code to get through that door. The code is 2 numbers between 1 and 9 and no zeros, and order does not matter. So normally in Chrono Cross streams, I like to play a little guessing game to see what code we'll get, but we'll see how that goes later.
Yeah, so the runners are going to hope for, like, it can be anywhere between 1 and 9 on either side. Like, you get 2 numbers, and you want as low of a number as possible, because that's how many times you have to watch the statue turn. AG Deeds says 2-7. Is that for Rom?
Yeah, it's going to get confusing in chat if everybody puts out their code guesses.
Yeah. You can get a 1-1 code. I actually think Ash got that in our big peach race.
Yeah, it's extremely rare. I got a 1-1 and a 9-9, which are both extremely rare, like back to back a few months ago or several months ago. But
PH bringing the evil vibes, going 10-10, which is not even possible, but it's the thought.
Well, how dare he?
But it's important to remember the code number, because if you don't and you mess up the order, you will fall through the hole and have to fight a Cybot. So it's going to be like another 2.5 minute time investment just to continue the fort. I was victim of that really recently. I have no shame admitting it, but every now and then you might mix up the code. So
I've definitely had it happen.
So both our runners have gone for the wait for the dishwasher to move exit.
Ooh, 3-9. So Rom with the sub-average code, he got some total of 12. Average is obviously 10. You would like to have below that, or at least average.
Ooh, 6-9 by Zan.
Zan with a nice number.
Yeah.
By that I mean it's very bad.
Sum of 15 is never great.
And it's actually very important that you don't put any of these on the guard prompt. If you do, you take an encounter with them because silence is the answer. And I learned recently from our very own PH that if you do fail it, you can run away and they're just like, oh, it was just a prank. Let's try it again. So you don't have to fight it.
I saw Rom not pick up the sword, the bronze sword, to sell later. That's an option, of course, but for safety, I like to pick it up.
Yeah,
no matter what.
Was it?
it's definitely a mistake by him. After disassembling the bone axe, he's going to be very
Yeah.
short on money.
Well, wait. If he gonna if he doesn't buy the diminish, that saves up a little bit of money, right?
If he, yeah, he can consider to do that. Hopefully he does. And it's really, when we're talking about short on money, later when we do the RNG of the key, first, second, or third, we're really just talking about if you get the worst, like lowest money encounter on the first key, is when you'll be short. Generally, if you get a later key, which you don't want because it's slower, you can make up the money. So
That's
it's
also
not the
true. Yeah.
end of the world, but
Yeah, it plays more of a factor in the any percent run versus this category, but we'll see what happens. So they're about to face off against the Neo N-Bulbs, the Green Onion Men. Pierre is going to play a significant role in this fight, as Handy mentioned. He's going to do it. We got to have faith in Pierre. All right, good, he hit.
When Pierre-
There.
Honestly, it's so disappointing when Pierre misses because he doesn't have very many jobs, and you're like, please, I need you for this one time, and he walks up and misses once and even twice sometimes. You're just like, Pierre, why? Why are you here?
So Pierre hits one and turns Serge yellow. That makes Serge able to do extra damage against these enemies. These enemies are green elemental innate, and when Serge turned yellow, he'll do extra damage because they oppose each other. Likewise, he'll take more damage if they get hit. If they hit him with a green element, like Bush Basher or something like that. But this fight, generally, it's the only thing we have to worry about is the very occasional chance that somebody gets poisoned. It's, I don't know, like less than 10% chance if they get hit with Bush Basher, but
yeah.
it does happen, and it's difficult to deal with.
Hit is also missing and really hurting Rom here. Oh, God, that's painful.
Oh, man.
I actually like. They're still very close. I think that's very exciting for
Yeah,
almost an
Zan-
hour into the game.
Zan has just pulled ahead because Rom is getting so bad misses. Now, what is fortunate for Rom is they have not done a single element in all of those rounds. Recently, like, I was so trolled by these bulbs because I had similar misses. They did like double bush bashers, which kills and poisons, and I even got to see their tech poison gas. And
What?
oh man,
Ooh.
it is, yeah. If you see poison gas, you have had a bad fight.
Wow. I've never,
Honestly,
I didn't know.
getting poisoned here is really, really rough because, like, especially if Serge is poisoned, we don't have antidotes yet. Like, that's a big problem for us. Like in the first hour.
Yeah, there is a backup for the antidotes, but it does cost time. At the very start of the game, under Serge's bed, there's a stash of like 100 gold or something. And you can go to the lady at the stall and buy 1 or 2 antidotes there. But that's only if you feel like you're going to get hit with the poison. But it's so unlikely to happen that it's generally not worth taking that time investment.
Right. We also see both of these, both the runners right now bothering Karsh until he eventually just gives up and gives you what's in the chest. And it's a very important item, actually very helpful for the speed run. Makes it go a lot quicker because we get a item called the Dragoon Gauntlet, which gives us +3 strength to the unit we put it on, which is very nice.
Okay, are they both at 14 strength right now?
That'd be
I'm not
crazy.
sure about
if they are.
Zan. So Zan had the worser code, but not by much. Since he's got a nice lead, he should be able to easily make it to Marcy first.
Yeah, each turn of this statue is roughly a second.
Yeah.
Did Rom just put in the wrong code?
No, I think his was 3-9.
Okay.
Yeah, it was
They
a sum
both
of
had
12.
nines. Gotcha.
See, we're all kind of neglecting the best thing about if you do get a 9-9. You can set your controller down and go make breakfast and stuff and then come back because of how long it takes.
You get an early bathroom break.
Right.
Oh man, yeah. So they're both coming up on the probably the first run killer of this game is Marcy. If you play the fight properly, you're not really at risk. But if you get a bad miss or your stats are a little low, or you can be hard punished. You can die, and basically at half of her health, there's a health trigger for her unique tech, Cat's Cradle, which is a blue element, and it does a ton of damage. She also hits, like her base attacks hit very hard, especially against Kid. And if that wasn't bad enough, once she hits critical health at 25%, she'll do an Ice Blast or two, which pretty much KOs someone. And if they don't get KO'd, they're likely to get frozen, and you can't do anything with them. So after that, she'll just kill you after. So our entire goal of this fight is to damage her just before the 50 HP trigger, push her past, try to get as close to that 25%, get Cat's Cradled, and then kill her. So, and end the fight. So hopefully that happens.
Yeah, Marcy serves as a really good chance to learn about the AP system, which we didn't really touch on, but AP stands for action points, and every enemy and boss in this game has a certain amount of action points that they will take on average. So for Marcy, it's 7. However, on the very first turn, it's random where the boss or the enemy will go. So we'll start off this fight with a 3-3 to cover that, because we don't know if Marcy's gonna go after the first hit or after this, the 3-3. But every action we take, whether it's casting an element, defending, or using a 1, 2, or 3, and then with the 1, 2, and 3, we have to add that to the AP total. But by keeping track of all those things, we could determine when a boss or an enemy, a regular enemy, is going to attack. So Marcy is as Carbon was mentioning, we have to pay attention to HP, how much damage we do, and also the AP that Marcy's at. So that's why she's the first kind of run killer, is because it really forces you to pay attention compared to the bosses so far.
Right. And just to kind of add on to that, just as a little explanation, the reason why counting AP is very important is because, like Corporate was saying in the beginning turn, where we throw 3s in the beginning, is that say we know an enemy is going to go no matter what after the next turn. Like if we do a 1, she's going to go. If we do a 2, if we do an element, she's going to go. If we do a 3, that's effectively the same thing. But in this game, you can buffer 2 moves together, just 2 moves, as long as they're attacks. So we throw 3-3 because it effectively pushes out the most damage possible. It refreshes our allies next to us, and it basically is basically us min-maxing the entire fight.
Oh my god. Zan gave me a heart attack.
Yeah. Zan did so much. Oh, go ahead.
He did a 1-2 on Marcy, and you expect her to. He might get blasted here. He did a 1-2 on Marcy, and you expect her to attack you. Then okay, he's good. Phew.
Woo!
But Corp was talking about this AP system. So what happened was she rolled an extra AP or a few. So she didn't go. And so he had a couple options. He could have attacked with Kid, do a 3-3. He elected to have Serge do a 2-2. Or the other option is to defend, because he was going to be under that 50% health trigger, which is why we do that 1-2. But he pushed her over that with that 2-2 that he did. And then Kid missed everything. So that was very sketchy. But they managed to pull it out.
I just noticed something. In Homeworld, Serge starts out with a sea swallow. Okay? In another world, Serge swallowed the sea.
Oh no!
Come on, Doc.
Oh no!
Let us live. You can't do that to us.
You are correct. That is true.
So actually, this is the first time we meet Howl. But
That
I
is
had
true.
a question. I saw that Zan got the Ice Blast. Did you guys catch if Rom did?
Yeah, both of them got the Ice Blast, thankfully.
So no one got trolled.
Thankfully.
Yeah.
So that Ice Blast is going to be very important for the same reason we mentioned denying Kid earlier. It's all coming together for when we get Lena, when she's going to help us through mainly the fort and Mount Pyre and stuff like that. So that'll all come to fruition at that point. But I keep mentioning it, but I keep on touching on, like, this is a very close race. Like,
yeah.
I think it's very exciting.
It's been going back and forth pretty much. Like, I don't know if you guys saw, but on Rom's fight with Marcy, I think Kid got knocked out and he used a revive. in that fight. So
Right.
it was a nice backup there.
Another 4-guarder.
Oh,
is
man.
Rom, is Rom gonna
Is everybody
continue
gonna
the
get
trend?
4?
Is it? Oh, Rom cheated. He
Okay.
got
Yeah,
the,
Rom's hacking.
he got the 3.
You mean
Oh,
hack
wow.
around?
Interesting. He decided to 2-2-3 the sergeant. Normally, what you would do is 2-3 the private if you're 15 or lower strength, and that'll do it.
Wow,
Hmm.
they're almost in sync right now. That's crazy.
So
Seriously.
yeah, you can see the difference
Wow.
between. Oh man,
Rom with the no dash and slash strat. Bold.
bold.
Move. Did he even get attacked?
I'm not sure. I didn't actually see.
Wow.
If not, that was a crazy AP roll.
Yeah. Rom just took the lead back.
Mhm.
with
However,
that fight.
Back and
Zan
forth.
has 15 strength and a power glove. So on the Lynx fight, if he doesn't miss, there's a potential to save more time against Rom. But if Rom gets a crit at the right spot, it'll swing back. So we'll see what happens.
Also, since you kind of explained why Marcy was a dangerous fight, you want to touch on why Lynx is kind of the second coming of a dangerous fight in the Manor?
The
And why that?
second-
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, so Lynx is very dangerous. Sometimes it doesn't look that way, but it's very dangerous. He has about 860 health, maybe a little bit more. I don't know offhand. And he's a black element innate, and Serge is a white innate. So because we oppose each other, we do more damage to him, and he does more damage to us. But the way that we do our damage, because we don't know the starting AP of Lynx, we have Serge just throw a 3/3 just to kind of normalize the fight. It's our highest damaging move, and it tends to work out well. But we can miss, and we tend to miss.
Too.
We tend to miss. On this fight, you should expect, without an eagle eye or anything, to miss 2 to 3 attacks. And it takes about 4 rounds of hitting this guy if you don't miss. So there's Rom going for it. He did about 140 damage there. But once we hit critical health on... He got a high AP as well, got to attack with Kid. Oh, Zan's getting attacked. Oh, and now he's at half health. Hopefully he... he's going to attack once. This is a little dangerous for Zan because he fast targeted his Serge. If Serge can die if he gets not on this attack. Okay, this isn't awful. He would die on the next. His next attack is 3 hits, so we can control him. But Zan is not.
He's getting the misses from Kid.
Hopefully he doesn't hit Serge.
Rom, even though he had a good AP start, is kind of counting damage because a lot of people I've seen fall victim to the fact that like if the fight doesn't go exactly to script, which even though you would think more AP is better, like once you go off script, you kind of have to know what you're trying to do. You know what I mean? Or things can just fall apart.
Yeah, so I didn't quite get to touch on it because these fights have been crazy. Once Lynx hits crit, which they're now both in crit, he will do a Nostrum, which is a black element. It'll heal him for 200 health. Put a black on the field, which reduces our damage. And you see Zan having to get stamina back by attacking with Pierre. But we can skip over that Nostrum. We can overwrite it. By the turn that Lynx goes into crit, awesome. They both got good kills. Basically the code. That's well done. On that turn that Lynx gets into critical health, it does that Nostrum, but we can overwrite it because what we do is we have Kid do a pilfer, because one, we want either item that we can get from Lynx, which is a magic ring or a power glove, and he will respond with an imbecile on that, or we can do a dash and slash, which he responds with an anti-white, which him doing that on the turn that he would Nostrum prevents the Nostrum.
Right, it's just like the game essentially when he goes into crit. Game initially sets like a flag that says, hey, on your next turn you're going to Nostrum and heal, but he also has another flag that says you've been hit with an element, so respond with like imbecile, and so we overwrite the first flag with like the second one. It's like I think a good way to explain that.
Yeah.
And then it's never Nostrums after that. I don't believe. I've never seen it go that long, but
no, if you On the turn, it's only on the turn that he goes into crit. You can go an infinite number of turns after. As
Okay.
long as you've overwritten it, he will not nostrum. Now, I haven't tried healing him and seeing if he does it, but
Yeah, I don't know. You're right. I've never tried that.
but
AJ
yeah,
Deed says that they are on their splits are 2 seconds apart.
wow, this is so close right now. Yeah, that fight can be so dangerous because he can just perma target Serge because his first turn he attacks twice and then he does one attack and then his next one is 3 attacks, which even if Serge never got hit on that turn where he does 3 attacks, Serge can die if he's not, like, even at full health if he's not defending or something. So it's plus missing, which just allows Lynx to do more attacks. It can get dangerous real fast, and you're just hoping that Serge or Kid don't get just dead.
Yeah.
So story-wise, the whole reason we're here is because Kid is looking for the frozen flame. So she went up to this room and she's like, this item, this glowing blue item is not the frozen flame, it's something else. And we encountered Lynx and General Viper, but we fought Lynx, but that really wasn't him. That was his shadow. And so that kind of ruined everything. We realized we're not really a match for Lynx right now. And so right now, Kid and everybody, we're desperate. We're trying to get out of this situation. So Kid took Riddell hostage, and now, well, she gets hit with a dagger.
Gasp.
Kid, not Riddell.
Yeah. Kid got hit with a dagger.
Honestly, it's a good thing that Kid sacrificed herself and saved Riddell, because in any percent, if something happened to Riddell, we would not get the best weapon in the game.
That's
True. Also, everyone prepare yourselves.
He's
Lynx
gonna
is about
say
to
the
say something
thing.
very important.
Assassin of Time. Chrono Trigger.
He
All
said
right.
it. He said it.
You said the thing. No! He's gonna say it again!
Oh,
I
no.
remember being a kid when I saw that. Because when you're a
Chrono
kid, you're playing this
Trigger.
casually. Yeah, when you're a kid, and you're playing this casually. Like this stuff takes a lot longer, right? So you think you're so far in the game, and I'm like, oh my god, he said Chrono Trigger.
Yeah, as a kid, it took me months to get to disc 2, and I was like, wait, what do I do?
Oh
Oh,
no.
there's a disc 2.
All right, so both Rom and Zan are doing an equip after the fight. They're going to get rid of the revive on Pierre, and, well, they chose not to exchange the iron dagger for the ivory dagger for Kid, because we normally sell the iron dagger for money. So we'll see how that comes into play. But now we're off to a nice rest. We have about 10 minutes of cutscenes, and, you know, that's a great
Fine.
place for a stretch break, water break, etc. for everybody. So you have to deal with Korcha.
Yeah. There is one very important thing that we have to do during this time, and that is basically say that we will not save Kid, because she's going to fall down here, but yeah.
Yeah, there are many RPGs that give you the illusion of choice, and this is one of the RPGs that actually takes your choice into consideration. Whether or not you choose to save Kid, let her join. There are points of no return in this game, but for the speed run, we're gonna say no. We're not gonna save Kid. It's much faster. We get a very good character for both categories of the game, and although we might feel bad for leaving her behind, she'll be fine. Kid's like immortal. She will not die. All we do is anger Korcha, and it's worth it.
The worst thing about this game is that you would think normally in the game with actual choice that if you choose the good thing, you're rewarded. But here, if you choose the good thing, you're punished with Korcha.
Doc, we agree
Although-
on that.
Although,
Yeah.
if you do choose to save Kid, you get to rescue Rasley, which makes it worth it. But, Korcha. Anyway, for here we learn that Kid was, when she was scratched by the dagger, she was afflicted with poison. And the doc has diagnosed that there is no cure for this poison. There used to be, but not anymore. So he's kind of depressed because he can't save anybody. Harley or Harl, she shows up, kind of mocks Kid, and especially mocks Korcha, so that's great for her. And then we make the decision.
Yeah, actually, just a note that I'm now remembering, if you do choose to save Kid, on the punishment thought, it's also that if you do go down that route and you exterminate the Hydra to take its humor, you are all, like, we are directly the reason that the dwarves have to leave the Hydra Marsh as well. So, we kind of become the villain by saving her.
All of our choices have consequences in this game.
Great game.
So,
One of them is to get Korcha.
yeah, I like the speedrun better. I'm no longer a villain. I'm the savior just trying to get home.
Oh, so fun fact, Harley or Harl is about to disappear real quick on Zan's screen. But if you look real close, you can make out her outline, and she is still standing right in front of the bed. That is intentional. That is not just lazy development, because she's here to listen to every word we're saying, and eventually she's going to steal the astral amulet, which Kid tries to give us as on her dying breath, or supposedly dying breath. But then Korcha comes in and says, "You don't deserve this thing, so I'm going to take it from you." So by refusing to save Kid, we'll have Harley eventually steal the astral amulet and give it to us. But that's in any percent. We don't get to see that scene in this category.
Right.
You almost get to see it.
Almost.
We do almost.
Almost.
Yep. Yeah, and if you've been watching these races, you can definitely tell this is a very big point of downtime in every
Yeah.
run you do. This is like 10 minutes or so of literally just hitting X.
Yeah, it's just plot, making sure you don't accidentally say yes to Kid somehow. Partial with 17 for Rom. Hopefully that
Is that a
means
bad
that
sign?
I've always, well, I don't know. I've gone both ways on if strong partial, weak Glen, strong partial, strong Glen. I'm gonna hope for a strong Glen.
I hope so too. I think I have just fallen for PH's propaganda. Like
Zan with the
terms of-
16 partial as well.
Uh-oh.
So, well, this will either confirm or deny the theory. Now that is something. He's Rom with partial leading and climbing the ladder. That is too cute. I've never seen that.
Will Zan respond?
So actually, Daffy's mentioning replacing a weak Glen with a strong partial. They're actually, I guess, to get into some of the technical battle mechanics, normally that would be okay, except that we really do want a green innate. That way we don't have to do a turn element for a green. But also, partial has a stamina refresh rate of 0.9, where Glen has 1.1, which that's a 0.2 difference, and it might not sound like a lot, but what that means is that for every stamina that we use, an action point that we use, if we do a 1, that's 1. If we do a 2 attack, that's 2. 3 is a 3, etc. Elements are 1, and defending is 1 as well. So for every one of those that we use, that partial in that case will get 0.9 times that. So if we do a 1, partial gets 0.9 stamina back. If we do 3, partial gets 2.7 back.
Which actually destroys a lot of strats if you don't get if you don't have at least a 1.0 for our speedrun stuff.
Yeah, it's very difficult to unless you have insane damage somehow. You really need that stamina worth of damage.
Right.
Also, just the ability to not accidentally defend everybody and enable the enemy to take a turn. So.
And alternatively, the 1.1 from Glenn actually does come into play at times where we do benefit from the fact that he gets more than 1.
Yeah, actually, so I've been recently playing with on that same thought of if you have a weak Glen, can you use Serge? And the answer is yes, you can, but you need a strong enough stat line. But that missing stamina is really impactful on Fire Dragon and the 3 Divas fights. It's very difficult because you tend to miss that 1 stamina at very critical points.
So UzuX asks the question, what is this category and estimate? Good question. This is the Lynx 2, or also known as the Lynx at Fort Dragonia category. It is about a 2.5-hour run, give or take, due to luck and skill level, but it's essentially the first third of any percent. So any percent is generally a 7-hour run, and this way it's a nice introductory category for those who are interested in learning the run but don't have 7 hours of time to devote to a run. So yeah, we're closing in on the halfway point for this category.
We should also touch on, I don't know if we made it clear, maybe it was, but also this is now an official category on the leaderboards. So if you're someone who's interested in learning the game, like this is a good category to get into, learn, and it's less of an investment, and you still get to put times on the leaderboard if that's something that you're interested in.
Yeah, and it's also very approachable in terms of just if you've never speedrun before. It's very kind of direct, simplistic in a sense, where there's not a lot of tricks or glitches you have to learn, not a lot of super technical movement. So it's just very approachable.
Yeah, one of the highlights of like Chrono Cross speedrunning is the ability to make judgment calls based on situations. So you don't have to, as Carbon mentioned, you don't have to rely on glitches or frame perfect inputs or things like that. It's a very chill, calm experience. At least I find it that way. You do have to deal with some bad luck, but that's the more you get to it, the more attempts you do, the more that luck is going to bother you. So starting out, it'll be great. A nice, calm, casual experience. Anyway.
And I think the game is very good or very nice in the fact that like when you lose a run or something bad happens in the game, like a lot of this run is literally experience and learning, right? So a lot of it is just like you don't have to worry about like sequence breaks or any kind of like, I don't know, anything crazy like that. A lot of it is just you play and you end up what's the word I'm looking for? The fruits of your labor are like shown very quickly because every time you learn something, you're immediately able to apply it in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and actually, I guess talking about like new runners and approachability, both Rom and Zan are some of the newest runners in our community. So, it's great to see them running this.
All right, so we see Rom and Zan approaching Termina. They're gonna do some jobs here. One of the things is they're gonna go to the shop, see Lisa, our favorite shop owner, and buy some elements that we need to get ready for Fort Dragonia. Afterward, they'll make their way to the smithy. They've collected some goodies in Viper Manor, like the silver pendant, the knee pad. They'll disassemble those things and forge a better sword for Glenn and a better ladle for Lena. And by having the tier 3 weapons for the two of them, of course they get better attack power, but more importantly their hit percentage goes up. So we don't really care so much about Lena running out to do melee attacks, but we do care that she goes out there and never misses her attacks or tries her best. And after that, we'll go collect Glenn and be on our way. Oh, the door.
Rom got trolled by that door.
That door is the worst door.
So there is a little trick with opening doors. If you hold circle or L1 and you start to walk, it tends to make accessing the doors a little easier. But yeah, doors are the true boss.
Yeah, you'll probably be hearing more about doors in like very, very soon, actually.
Yeah.
We're probably gonna have more of an explanation about doors.
Yeah, Rom actually elected to not buy the heal all when he did his purchase, something that Azala had done last run. So we'll see how that pans out. He should be fine, but he could be short on healing supplements.
So we also did. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
I was just going to mention earlier, when they were talking to Lisa, it's actually important that we take Pashal in our party and not Lena. You know, you would think that you want to bring Lena into your party just because we're going to use her later and see her magic. But if you talk to Lisa with Lena in your party, they actually have this like, gossip chat, and it just wastes some time.
Yeah, so we see on Rom's screen he's talking to Glenn. That we have like a little fun guessing game to determine what Glenn's strength will be. We're going to get him in a couple minutes, but if chat feels like it, Glenn's strength can be anywhere from 10 to 20, and 20 is really, really good. On average, he's going to be 14, 15, or 16, give or take. But Glenn's strength is going to play a key factor really soon. The next level, we're going to have Serge do most of the damage to all the enemies, but after that level, it's going to switch on over to Glenn and eventually Lena. But I'm hoping that they both get at least 15 for Glenn.
Right. Additionally, something that was mentioned, PH, is that Rom, not only did he skip the heal all, but he only bought 41 tablets. So it's going to be interesting to watch to see. Hopefully things don't get tight on, healing items later in the fort.
Yeah, he can elect to buy capsules later, something that Silver has done in her runs, just for safety's sake. I actually, funnily enough, in my new kind of what I've been working on, I actually have to drop my tablet purchase down to 31, which actually is very impactful. If you end up having to heal quite a bit, you can be short on healing after the Viper fight and get hard punished on Lynx. So he should be okay with 41, but it could be a
non-factor.
It can be tight.
We learned with the last run with Izala, got trolled by Taurusoid and had to spend extra rounds healing up. He ran out of tablets eventually by the end of it. Oh, 17. Oh, Glenn.
This is why you do your push-ups.
Debunked.
There was a 17 partial too, so does that mean we're getting a 16 for Zan?
Let's hope. Keep it even. Relatively even.
So Glenn is supposed to average about technically 15.8 at this point, so you should expect 16 or 15. So...
Wait, not fully debunked yet. PH says his theory is it's one of Glenn or Lena. We have yet to see Lena.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, we're gonna hope Lena is at least 12.
Ooh, ouch!
13.
Ouch.
13 for Zan, but he does have a power glove, so that's like 14.
That is helpful, yeah. But that's an oof. He does have some time to pick it up.
Yes.
That is true. Yep.
He has 3 stars before his strength really matters. He does do some supplemental damage. 14 Lena, that's good.
Oh man, yeah.
But
yeah, so they're gonna do. They just did a little bit. Well, Zan's still doing the shopping, but Rom just got there doing shopping.
Double 14s.
Ooh, double 14. Nice.
I want his RNG machine.
Me too.
What
but they're about to do a small menu. Gonna finish getting ready to equip everything they need, and they're gonna head into this spooky fog to the next place that we're going.
Yeah, so for this run and for any percent, we're gonna hope that Lena gets to 15 magic by the start of Fort Dragonia. So the fact that she's already at 14 is a blessing for the runners. For Glenn, we also want him to be as strong as possible. For Rom, he's at 17, which is great, and Zan's at 13, not so great. But the way strength gains and magic gains work is that the game kind of tries to balance you out. So if you constantly get strength points going through all your boss fights, the game's like, all right, whoa, it's too much. So they kind of hold out off on you. And then conversely, if you don't get anything, then the game's like, all right, here's some extra strength. Here's a +2. So for Zan, there's a good chance he could get a +2 or 2 +2s very quickly. And there's a chance that Rom, even though he's at 17 for Glenn, he's not going to get anything. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, interestingly enough, right, Rom started his surge strength very low, and it's picked up to average, and now his other 2 characters are just they're just like, oh, Serge, you're not gonna cut it. So I think they decided to pick up the pace, and looks like Zan's were slacking a little bit.
We also saw it a little bit in the last run. But coming up in this next fight, for the Polly fight after the one we run from, we're hoping for both runners that they're gonna get this ice blast off before Polly flaps. That'll be an indication of a pretty smooth fight. unless barring like a lot of misses afterwards.
So, yeah, Ascani in the chat asked if this Glen is the CT Chrono Trigger Frog Glen, and Corporate has just answered. It's the same name, but a different character. But they do have the same dual tech in X Strike, so there is a little homage to Chrono Trigger there.
And he's a green, a green innate, like frog green. I don't know. There's
Frog
gotta be
is
some there's nods
Frog
there.
would be blue if he
That's
were in
true.
this game, but that's neither here nor there. So here we are on the ghost ship. In this case, it's the SS Invincible that's been disguising itself as a ghost ship. Fargo has this beef with Lynx because we found out that General Viper, but he's also afraid of Lynx. So he's been hiding out on this pirate crew, and he suspects we're like in league with Lynx, so he's gonna test our worthiness, or I don't know, but he's gonna make us fight 3 fights, and the first fight we can just run from. Believe it or not, we don't actually have to fight it. There are 3 fights on the ship that look like they're forced, but they aren't, and this is the first one. However, after this we get to fight Fargo's parrot, Polly. It's a very big parrot, and we're gonna see what kind of luck the runners get with him.
Polly
is
can be a pain.
can be a pain, but Polly is like the eagles in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Polly does save us later in any percent.
Daffy asks, "Can those skelly enemies even zero roll?" And
No,
in my experience,
they
I've
cannot.
never been zero rolled. Yeah.
No. Actually, that is interesting because they're one of the few not star fight boss fights that cannot roll a 0.
Ooh, so it's
wow.
kind of low on health.
Rom literally got 1 rolled. That's just
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Right.
So he's basically got to hope that Serge doesn't get hit.
But luckily, because Lena's magic is so good, it's probably not going to see a second flap. But
He
Right.
might. I think he's got to be very careful with this AP.
It really also depends, like if Polly rolls in the lower end too.
Oof. Yeah, that's a low roll.
oh man,
Ooh.
Oh, and
Nuts.
Serge too. That's just dirty.
dang! So on Zan's screen, Lena got knocked out by flap. So
Ooh,
they gotta
both
make a
of them.
choice.
Yeah, both of them having rough fights on Polly.
A little risky, I think, for him to hit with Lena there. He might have been able to kill by doing that, leaving Serge just on the ground. And after Polly, ooh,
Uh-oh.
you really do not want someone to be dead after the Lena fight or after the Polly fight, because then you have to go into the Fargo fight with 1 health.
Yeah, that got a little bit shaky for a minute on Rom's side. We'll see
2
how
double
Zan
flaps.
finishes up.
Wow.
Jeez.
Yeah,
This is
So,
3 double flaps. Oh, and Lena got yeeted too.
out
Polly
of all
has
of our
been
Ruthless.
seriously.
Yeah. out of all of our runs, that's 75% of them have today have had double
Uh-oh.
flaps.
Oh, it looks like Zan had already revived too.
Yep.
That is
Yeah.
so unfortunate.
But again, Lena's in a good spot. On Rom's screen, Lena got a +1, so she's at 15, so she's reached her target, which is great. But yeah,
If,
there is a backup for the flappy for the Polly fight. At the start, if you get flapped at the very start, you can have Lena do after she does an ice blast or aqua ball. You can do a 1/1 and do another aqua ball. That's a nice source of damage because it's like low AP cost and it does about 100 damage.
I hope Zan is not punished. I don't agree with this. With Lena being at 1 health, he should have had her turn red first. He's really hoping she does not get hit.
Ooh.
Okay. Rewarded.
Not gonna- Oh.
Well, not punished, I should
Yeah.
say.
I mean, she could still die, and that could be a pain because he has to revive. But oh,
Okay. Alright. So Fargo's next turn on Zan's screen is going to be a strengthen, so Lena can delay getting knocked out. But because Serge missed his attacks,
Oh, he is so short.
No,
he
no.
might
ooh,
he might have to
no.
run. He has done no damage. He might have to run right now.
dang.
Oh, he should just run. He's got to run.
Oh
No.
my goodness!
He has to
Okay,
run.
this is this
So-
is when CC starts punishing for no reason.
Yeah.
Oh, crit,
Hard.
though.
So
Okay.
now his oh yeah
Oh,
now
no.
he can't even heal her. He might see carnivore. So Fargo is not supposed to be a dangerous fight. But
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
if he goes like 5 rounds or something, he can do carnivore, which is like just as dangerous as Inferno. So uh-oh.
He has to
no.
hit these threes, right? Okay, wait.
Oh,
Ooh.
how
Okay.
did that
Okay.
kill?
Whew.
Okay. Well, he got
Calculated.
bested. His Lena's been
Nice
dead
fu-
though for both fights.
Is that +2 on his Surge? That's nice. 16.
I saw on Rom's screen everybody got a point in their respective stats. Selena's at 16. I think Glenn was at 18. So Rom's doing really well stat-wise.
Also,
Yeah, it's
so-
really unfortunate that Lena missed 2 stat ups. I mean, even though she has fine magic right now, it's really her defenses that are going to come into play against
Yep.
Right.
Fire Dragon.
Yeah, when we get to the Fire Dragon, I'm gonna hope that Lena has like about 150 HP, hopefully more. But by missing a level up, you decrease that chance that she's gonna reach that target.
yeah, so from that fight, Rom did pull ahead a little bit further. However, we're actually in a big RNG section of the run where
In fact,
essentially
it's the key to the run.
There you go.
the key RNG section, right? So in this ghost ship, basically, we're locked from that door that Rom just checked, and we have to get a key to get through it. But it's kind of, or not kind of, it is random between 3 people who can have the key. And we obviously want the first guy we check to have the key. But for every guy that sequential guy that doesn't have the key, we have to do an extra fight. So it can be 40 seconds to a minute loss from key RNG. So this could be a swing one way or the other for either one of them.
Yeah. Rom with a successful ghost dance. A little slow. Oh no. Oh my
Uh-oh.
god.
Rom is scaring me.
Woo!
Okay.
Oh, that was a
He-
little panicky, but
That ghost is also really close. I'm surprised she didn't aggro it there, but a little sketch, but successful.
hey,
Exactly.
successful.
And that's what matters. So
All right. So Rom doesn't get first key here, but Zan does. Zan will catch up.
we'll see if I don't know if Zan has done the ghost dance. I
Not
think
yet,
he's
not
good
yet.
at it. Well, I mean like in past streams.
In general.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good fight though from Rom. Like he got the 2 wraiths.
Yeah, this is the most money you can get. It gives about 1,000 gold, which is very relevant. But he's had some interesting money decisions and is missing the 240 gold from that bone axe. So we'll see if he elects to buy the diminish or choose not to. If he chooses not to, he'll be perfectly fine with the first key.
Woo!
All right.
Hey,
Z-
2 successful ghost dances. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Lena's freaking out on Zan's screen. All right, nice.
Nope. Not first key.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
So, yeah, this could even out if Zan gets first key here.
Or if Zan gets second key and Rom gets third key. But we
Oh, that's
never
true,
wish
yeah.
anybody to get third key. That's too mean.
That's true.
Well, Azala knew better in his run. He got the third key and didn't check it first. So. That Glenn
Ooh.
Grant. 70 thick.
All right,
Well,
Zan
let's
finished
see.
the encounter first.
Lena just dunked on that deadhead.
I love using Lena here. Like, the way she just destroys ghosts or the wraiths is amazing.
Oh,
Oh, not first.
Oh.
key.
Ah.
All right, so not first key for Zan. Second
Second
key
for
for
Debated.
Rom. Okay.
Yeah, Zan also got
Debated.
a little trolled by talking to that guy. He talked to him from the right side, which kind of makes him tell you about the vent, which just wastes a little bit of time. So,
Hobbs in chat is praying for violence. A third key time, he says.
uh-oh. No, let's second key. Come on, let's go. Second key.
Good dodge from Rom.
Let's keep this race real tight.
This is also a very interesting part of the run, I think, because it's a lot of dodging enemies on the way out. So you can get first key.
My heart.
Oh no.
Oh, Zan getting chrono crossed in the ghost ship.
We'll
We can
blame
all-
Hobbs.
Yeah, we can all blame Hobbs on this.
Yeah, everyone blame Hobbs.
You asked for this, Hobbs. Don't say no. You know better than that.
Rom grabbing the photon beam out of muscle
Muscle
memory.
Yeah.
Hey, honestly though, it was good movement to grab it and go. He didn't waste too much time.
See, unfortunately, that's gonna put Zan back at least another minute and a half of time against Rom. So Rom's gonna have a significant lead going forward. But that could change.
I was about to say, however, that is
Ooh.
not it for anybody wondering. There is a lot that can go right and wrong in Fort Dragonia
So
and Mount Fire.
Rom is fighting this. I don't think he has to, especially after a second key. He got a single wraith, and he's choosing to fight it, which would give him about 500 gold. Especially if he chose not to grab the diminish. Yeah, in any percent, I think in his situation it's a fine idea.
Right.
But for this category, I don't think he had to.
I actually agree. I think that the right call here is probably skipping the diminish in a Lynx 2%.
But yeah, I mean, even with just doing the any percent route is fine. I mean, it's only minor differences. So I mean, I don't disagree with the play normally. So
Right. No. Yeah.
Yeah, so Zan playing it safe against the deadbeats. So yeah, with Rom going after that Wraith, Zan's caught up a little bit more.
So Hobbs in the chat is saying skip diminish, don't grab the sword or dagger from Kid. He's just trying to have an unfair advantage in this category when he runs. It's being a bit of a tryhard.
Yeah, for those who don't know why we're picking on Hobbs, Hobbs is the famous Chrono Cross runner in our community. So it's all in good fun. We're not actually bullying him.
Infamous.
At least I'm not.
Infamous is the right one. Oh, zero skip diminish. Wow.
Alright, so Rom's facing off against Deadhead. Standard fight. So far, no misses from Lena or Glenn. So Serge is going to go for a 3-3 here, and he's going to hope to crit. And did not. That's fine. Because after this, Deadhead will use Diminish, which will decrease everybody's damage, I think, by 1.5. So, but while you get the crit with Serge, you can potentially save a few seconds on this fight by getting a slightly faster ending to it. But that's fine. Again, Rom's Lena is very good. 16 magic, I believe, still. So
Yeah, his Surge, I didn't see his strength, but it's doing about 5 or 10 less damage per hit than you really are looking for. So this well, with that miss, he's almost guaranteed to go another round.
mm-hmm.
So he's slightly slower.
Yeah, and Deadhead is not really a dangerous fight, but the longer it drags on, the more irritating it becomes.
Ooh, he still got the kill. Wow.
Oh,
Yeah,
let's go.
That's the power of Lena. Really strong. Lena's doing
Wow.
125, 126 damage per Cure Plus.
Right. Rom finishing right as Zan is still in the setup phase, so they're not actually that far apart. This is still very much a neck and neck race.
Yeah,
19.
Zan's about 40-ish seconds behind, maybe a little bit more.
Right.
And that's just because of the key luck. And that can still change with just some poor fights through Mount Pyre, a kissy-wissy difference. So
Taurusoid being Taurusoid.
yeah.
Yeah, and Ethereal Llama, the estimated time for the run is about 2.5 hours. Maybe a little bit less for these guys, but we'll see. They can get trolled pretty badly going forward.
Oh, also, so I explained it in the last race. If you want to get it, catch it this time, Carbon, do you want to explain the uses of Strengthen and Eagle Eye that are going to be coming up pretty frequently in these like next few fights?
Sure. Yeah. So on that Deadhead fight, that was the first time that we actually used the combination of Eagle Eye and Strengthen. In the Fargo fight, we did Strengthen, but essentially what it does is we Strengthen boosts our total attack power by, I believe it's 20%, for about 30 AP worth. And what we put these elements. Sorry, Corp, I'm getting feedback. Sorry. And so we put them in very particular places on our element grid, because when we hit our elements, it basically we can just mash right through it, and it will auto select and target the person in the first position, which is basically our main character, Glenn or Serge. And so with Eagle Eye giving us 99% to hit, which is exact, it is accurate in the sense that it's not 100%, it is 99%. We get to basically, for the most part, be guaranteed to hit and boost our damage, while also having consistent targeting and consistent battle menuing.
Yep, exactly. Also, I didn't actually. I apologize if you did say it and I didn't hear it. But also, you're gonna see them put those buff elements and stuff like that on the first element allocation, just because you wouldn't actually guess it playing it casually. But like for those specific ones, the non-damaging ones that are just buffs and debuffs, doesn't matter where you allocate them at. It'll always do the same effect no matter what for the same duration of time.
Yeah, I did not mention that. It doesn't actually matter what level of element you put them on. I believe they're level 4 base with a plus or minus 3 or 4, which means that we can go on level 1, which means we don't actually have to get that many element levels to use it, which is perfect for the speedrun.
It's so nice.
Yeah, it's super important. If we had to go to level 4 to use the Strength and Eagle Eye, I don't think we would, to be quite honest.
So we have Rom here facing off against Salt and Pepper, and this is the last tutorial fight of both this category and any percent. And what?
Whoa.
Oh, he's going for it.
Yeah.
Whoa.
All right, guys.
Yeah, W's in chat.
Everybody, prepare your W's. Actually, it's already time. Rom is there. This is like the longest single text box in the game. It's just Pepper going, what? It's so long.
This fight is very important because the drops that happen after the fight will determine kind of what you do, both for this category and in any percent. The common drops for Salt and Pepper are really good Iron Mail and an Iron Vest, good defensive equipment for Lena and Serge. But the rare drops are where it's at. They can drop a Dragoon Gauntlet, which is a +3 to attack power, or a Skygen Ring, which is a +2 to magic. Because both the runners have good magic on Lena, they don't really need the Skygen Ring, but the Gauntlet will help them out quite a bit with Glenn and his attack power.
Right.
Yeah, they might not need the Skygen Ring, but there is some stat lines. Wow, that Glenn does so much damage. Having it, if you hit a really high magic at Bunyip, you can save so much time.
Yeah, also I've never heard a runner say, "Oh no, the Skygen Ring."
I did that. When I was first learning the game, I would get the Skygen Ring off of Lynx 2 constantly, and I would be angry because I didn't understand how the Pendragon Sigil worked. So,
oh, okay, I see.
Well, that was a long time ago.
Double comments for Rom, though he had a very good fight.
That is a 20 Glen.
Wow, he can go if Fire Dragon doesn't completely wreck him. He actually, even still, he could cure and still do the fast strat, which is just
right.
No genius, no magnify. He can just Ice Blast and Aqua Ball and be good. I don't know if he put an Aqua Ball at level 2, but he's got the stats for it.
I also don't know if they're safety saving like the other two. I don't know if they talked about that or they agreed or whatever. It doesn't look like it. They might not be safety saving at all.
If his Serge is high enough magic, he can also do it. It looks like he forgot some stuff in his element. Looks like he had forgotten that Bush Basher on Serge, which with the nice. That was really fast. Kind of got, I guess, a lucky crit then, because normally he would do a Serge Bush Basher in that Salt and Pepper fight, which he didn't have. So looks like he got saved by a crit.
Oh, nope, they're not safety saving. So
Interesting.
most of the time, this fight doesn't go badly. It's just if we were gonna safety save anywhere in the race, this would be one of the fights to do it in, just because crazier things have happened in Chrono Cross than dying to Fire Dragon.
Yeah, what we're looking for is to get Eagle Eye off, which is 2 AP worth, and then be able to stamina push with a Glen 3/3. So we're hoping that we don't get attacked or interrupted.
Yeah, so Zan got
Oof.
standard drops.
He got one roll. That's pretty troll. So now what we're also looking for, Rom might be going for hoping for a high roll, because he's not. This is a little dangerous because now he's going to Fire Breath, and normally we put 2 blues on the field. It looks like he's targeting
Is that
Lena.
Lena? Is that Lena? Uh-oh.
Okay, good.
Oh, okay. Okay, good. Yeah.
Surge still might die if he gets hit.
Yeah.
He really needs to get this turn blue off at minimum. Normally we would have done a turn blue and a Cure Plus or an Aqua Beam by this point. Rom elected to get the Eagle Eye off and then Stamp Push, which drastically reduces the damage of that Fire Breath.
Right.
So.
Oof. Yeah,
Big
Fire Dragon's
punish.
not being kind. Yeah.
He might have just overmashed. No, okay. Ooh, look, Surge has his revive too.
Oh no. Yeah, so this is actually why, like when I said potentially you maybe safety save in a race, is because so what happened initially is like most people, I mean maybe you have one carbon that's still experimental. People don't necessarily have like a good strat if Fire Dragon 1 rolls you. Most people have one for if he 2 rolls you, but not a 1 roll. 1 roll just makes this fight really hard.
Yeah. This is very awkward.
Yeah.
He should be okay because Fire Dragon will attack.
Yeah, both Glenn and Lena
Oh,
have good
no.
HP.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Ooh, he's gotta run. You gotta
Ooh,
run.
180. Okay.
That's just
yeah.
Fire Dragon being Fire Dragon.
Yeah.
So
Zan
you
got
can
good
get 1
start.
rolled. You
Rom,
can't get 1 rolled and it go well. It's just like Fire Dragon has to be kind, and he was not kind.
yeah, that 1 roll is rough. I don't think Rom should have gotten the turn blue and the beam or Cure Plus off, where he elected to Stamp Push, but also he gets dragged back into this fight, and now he's got to run again to get the heal off, so
Yep.
it's just doubly bad that he has to run there. So it looks like
Yep.
Zan's gonna come to a lead, but that's just Fire Dragon.
Yeah.
That's just Fire Dragon. But to answer your kind of question or prompt earlier, Handy, with the 1 roll, I know some people, they choose to hope for a high roll to get the Eagle Eye off and then 3/3.
Right.
I personally would just run without Eagle Eye and just hope I hit. At
That's
that
actually not a
point.
bad idea. Yeah.
Yeah, I know when I get the 1 roll, I continue like normal. I do an extra attack on Lena to get her ready, but I still put 2 blues on the field, push off the red, and usually it just ends up being an extra round afterward, unless I have really high stats on Glenn and Lena. But that's just
Right.
my experience with being 1 rolled.
Yeah, good fight from Zan. He made it through without issue.
Either one can really work. It
Mhm.
just like if you get 1 rolled, you really just kind of need Fire Dragon to not be a jerk.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. Yeah, with any low, like if you don't get that Stamp Push off, you're almost guaranteed to have to heal. And I think a lot of runners, especially newer ones, are you don't quite know the health triggers, like the damage that Fire Dragon can do with the Fire Breath and the attack. And it's slow, but don't be afraid to heal on this fight. You'll just be so much more thankful if you heal.
Right.
Now,
It
granted,
does
if you're
look like
going
things are
for,
going smoother.
yeah, he's also doing the Genius Magnify strat. He has the stats to not do this, but it's fine that he's not doing it.
He probably at this point just wants to get through it.
I don't blame him. Do not blame him.
Yeah, so we see Zan starting the 3 Davis fight. On this fight, we're looking. Well, Lena will start off, or whoever's going to start off with a strengthen on Glenn, and then we're going to hope that Zoa doesn't go before Glenn, because if he does, there's a very good chance that Zoa is going to use his special attack, Geronimo, which is a yellow element, does extra damage on Glenn, but more importantly, by putting a yellow on the field, it'll reduce Glenn's damage to everybody. Since Glenn is still our main attacker at this point, and Lena is supporting with Ice Blast and so forth. But it looks like Zoa went right after Glenn, so there's a good chance he will skip Geronimo.
I think if he goes and gets his minimum 11, I think you have to skip the Eagle Eye if you want to guarantee not seeing it. But good second fight from Rom. Also good call on the runaway. You know, not ripping his run there.
The only thing I worry about for Rom now is because he had to do the runaway and he didn't build, he couldn't build levels or whatever. The tablet situation we were talking about earlier could come into play. They had to use extra tablets there. Consumables, I mean.
Yeah, so here Zan's hoping for a high roll on Zoa, otherwise we will see Geronimo. And he gets it.
Yes, he got it.
It looks like Zan's having a very good fight, though. This fight can be pretty sus. Oof. So it looks like
Marcy is rough.
Yeah, I think Rom did the turn red strat as well. Oh no, I didn't quite see. I thought his strength was higher. So yeah, I think he did the turn red.
Yeah, and you definitely the thing is you can't just like skip over and keep going with the strat either, because Marcy has such low AP that if you don't kill her, she just wastes so much. She does damage and wastes so much time.
Yeah, she has 6 minimum AP, and she'll just constantly cycle through her attacks if you don't kill her fast, which is why we do it.
Right.
And if she somehow gets to go 3 times, that's when she'll Cat's Cradle everybody. Or sorry, she does String Phone. Sorry, not the Cat's Cradle.
On Zan's end, his Serge died. He got through the 3 Divas fight, but his Serge died in the process.
Darn. Well, honestly, I'm not too concerned about that since this is only cat percent.
Right.
We don't really use Serge past this bit. If it was in any percent, obviously that's pretty rough, but
it's true. Yep.
Right now, of all the people that, he has really high stats anyway, so I think the biggest problem is just that he has to heal.
Yeah, he's fine, and he has a lead right now, so he's sitting comfortably. Although they're not he's gonna smart. Zan's going ahead and doing the menu. Wait, no.
I don't agree with this because he still has to put frog prints on.
Yeah, I thought about that after I said that because it's not as the same thing because you need to get frog prints and stuff in the next one.
Yeah, and the Dragoon's not very dangerous.
Scary. Yeah.
Yeah, the worst thing that can happen is you don't heal up after the Davis fight, and you start that Dragoon Rider fight with low HP, and then you make a choice: either run away and heal up, or take the chance.
Yeah, as I was saying that he had to heal Serge. Debatable.
I guess it's just I don't know. It's just he's gonna have to open the menu anyways. Yeah.
If he was gonna see the Magma Bomb turn, then yeah.
Yeah, sure. It's not a bad call. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Initially I was like, oh, good.
I was just gonna say when I said the Dragoon's not very scary, and then was remembered when I got lunged and infernoed by it. So
oh no.
Mistakes were made.
Think if you get lunged and infernoed by the Dragoon, I think there was several problems that went on.
Yeah, it's happened to me many times, unfortunately. Had really bad Lenas and Glens in the past.
They are still very close.
Yes.
Very close.
It's gonna come down to Taurusoid and Son of a Gun RNG, as well as dodging enemies in Fort Dragonia.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's way too close to call right now.
And definitely pillar memory.
Yes. Let's hope no one forgets a pillar.
Oh, they're almost in sync. They're like offset by like a couple of seconds.
Double acacia breaths.
Wow.
Zan's gonna finish off.
Zan must have had a really good AP or something. Like, what the heck?
It's so
Ooh,
close.
PH in chat says Zan had a 3 or 4 roll on the start. Oh, magma bomb.
Oh.
This is not going well. This is not what Rom wants.
No.
This is a perfect example of like when you see kind of clean fights happen and you're like, oh, that didn't seem very bad. Like right behind the curtain of a clean fight or like fights like this that just can extend for a lot longer than they should, you know, just because, you know, it's very easy. I guess what I'm trying to, it's very easy for you to lose time in a fight and just from small things, you know, that was like what, probably 20 seconds or so. And it's not even that big of a mistake that he made.
I did see Zan's Lena is at 15 magic, which is the threshold you hope she hits. But Rom's Lena is much higher than that. I think she's at 17, 18. That can come into play. If Zan doesn't get any more magic on Lena, fights like Taurusoid, well, not Taurusoid, but Son of a Gun and Bunyip might take a little bit longer than normal. Also, Rom's Glen is at a very high level. It's at 23 strength already. So all he needs is like one more point and he'll be relatively ideal for the last 2 fights in this place. So yeah, stats are gonna come into play.
Just to explain this
Inagami-
weird puzzle, there are 6 permutations of your party, and so you can use your L1 or L2 button to change the order and cycle around. And there's a little little weird thing over that Zan is just about to step on. That changes you from cyclic to anti-cyclic, so you can get the 3 other combinations.
Yep. And it's very, I have messed up this in like an early run or like when I've been de-rusting before. I'll be honest, I've accidentally done the wrong thing. But
Yeah,
Inagami, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was saying Inagami in chat was asking how long is this run. So the 80% run for Chrono Cross is about 7 hours, and if you're learning, it's probably like 7.5 or something. But the Lynx 2%, which they're doing right now for these races, is at the end of this fort, actually. It's going to be probably around 2 hours and 20 minutes or so, 2 hours and 30 minutes maybe. But both runners are coming up on the end of it.
Yeah, there's about 30 minutes left to this race. I was gonna say that with Doc's comment on the permutation of this room, if there's a couple goodies that you can get. I don't actually remember what's in the chests, but casually you can grab them and it gets confusing. But if you choose to go for them before you finish this, you can get very confused with your party order and what you need to do to actually get out of this room and hit the pillar. So fortunately for the speed run, we just get in and out.
Right.
Yeah, this puzzle is one of the worst in the game, only because there's no indication telling you, the player, that you have to hit the select button to change your party order, because that's the only way to get to this pillar is you have to be able to hit select a few times. So, you know, most people, like I did casually, just stepped on the thing, the button, or the pad, sorry, to change up your party order, but you couldn't get the one you needed. So the only way you learn that the select button changes your party order is if you open up the booklet and look at it. But
Right.
Yeah,
once
they
you
did
know
not,
that, it's really easy.
yeah, they did not explain this puzzle well. Actually, so if you caught this on Rom's thing, his bat was a little troll, but it worked out in his favor. Where you tend to wait for that bat to pass you when you go to the chain to let the pillar down. His bat got caught in the corner and then turned around on him, which actually enabled him to go the fastest way out at the top.
Zan was doing some tricky movement with the bat. I did.
Yeah, that's why I said, oh.
Oh, I wasn't.
This bat right here, no, that bat right there in this room is probably one of the most troll bats there are. Like, So if that bat, if you run into his aggro zone, which is not where it appears to be, like he can lunge at you from like up there. You can't just run away from him to dodge him. He like freezes you in place and then lunges at you.
Yeah.
And it's very easy to mess up the movement in this room.
Rom with the just walking, taking no risks.
No, see that's the movement that I do. Like I walk like three or four steps, and then it kind of sets me on a cycle that I know that you know the movement I need to do.
Yeah, I do that as well after taking it from you, but he just did it so early,
okay.
like right in the room. So right now, he, versus the fast cycle, he seems to be a bit behind. So he's probably gonna
Right.
end up waiting. But yeah.
So Zan is fighting the giant gloop. Our goal in this fight is to fill up a full blue
Serge,
field,
please.
have
Serge.
Lena use Ice Blast, and then eventually use the Frog Prince summon that we just got from the Dragoon Rider. So we'll be, but unfortunately the giant gloop has an attack called Take In, which will take in somebody and generally give them a status condition, either freezing, flu, or I think one more. But if they're frozen, they can't act. If they're like
Oh
that,
no, he did not have to run.
You don't have to run there. You can defend it out. Like, so one of the things is this fight is actually, funnily enough, not very punishing for the strats that we want to do in the speed run, because one of the scheduled moves Giant Gloop does is blue fill. So like, say
Uh-oh.
that you get to a start.
Yeah, she's got the flu, which means she can't use a blue element on this, so he's got to run away or use a medicine.
You can
Yeah,
use
that's not
medicine.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got kind of trolled in that, but yeah, he did not have to run because the gloop will do the blue field that Handy was mentioning, but it did kind of suck. He was gonna see the blue field guaranteed,
Right.
but Lena was frozen, which is part of the problem. But there's a couple ways you can deal with that. Is you can medicine her to get rid of the frozen, or you can basically, for her, I believe it's 10 or 11 AP worth, and the freeze will disappear.
Wear off. Yeah.
But
Both
he
of them
was
dealing with
was missing the
freeze.
ice blast. Yeah, he was missing the ice blast damage, so he might have even gotten to see like Ice Lance or Deluge. So
That's true. I would imagine not running would still be faster, but I don't want to claim for sure.
yeah, I think
But Rom, good.
if he had gotten that ice blast off, then yeah, it is a little tricky with that. But yeah, looks like Rom is taking the lead again because of some of those troll misses that Zan had.
Going back and forth.
Oh, he's got a double flu or
Oof.
something.
Yeah, as we mentioned before, in your attempt to try to set this full blue field for Frog Prince, in case things start going wrong, you could just defend out, and eventually Giant Gloop will use blue field, which will automatically create a blue field for you. It's not a bad backup to wait for that, but it's situational.
Yeah, if you've already seen the attack as well, I think it's a faster animation than doing a medicine.
Right.
But the medicine has the added bonus of not having to do a post battle menu. So
Yeah, so
yeah,
since
no, this.
I was gonna say, so since Zan has the flu, he's got to use medicine afterward because it affects your movement on the overworld. So your movement will go zigzagging back and forth, and you can't control that. There are a few more status effects that affect movement. One of them is sprain that forces you to walk, but we won't see that in this category.
Right.
So Retro Gamer in the chat says hello, and I respond with a hello.
Hello.
Welcome in.
So Rom not going for Cybot skip. Very wise.
We are going to see a chat from Azrael Hobbs very soon about people not going for this Cybot skip.
You know, I don't know what it is. Like, I seem to have lost my ability to do it, or at least know when I've gotten it. Hobbs has some voodoo magic where he just
Yeah.
knows.
I will
It's,
say, if you're very, very, very confident and that you get it consistently, it's definitely not worth doing. So they're not losing much by not going for it. It does save time, but it's not like a crazy amount of time, but the risk is really heavy.
Yeah, so you save about 10 seconds if you get it, and if you don't, you lose like a minute to 90 seconds, maybe more. Whereas neither Rom or Zan did it this run, but if you go for the guard skip at Viper Manor, that's the risk reward there is a bit more favorable, where it's like you'll save 60 seconds, and if you fail it, you'll lose like 20.
Right.
So,
Oh, good dodge from Rom.
yeah, Rom with some good dodges. He did his homework, or is still putting it off. One of them.
So I had mentioned in the last fight that if things go wrong in Giant Gloop, you don't get punished very hard. So take all that and throw it out the window, because Taurusoid says if anything goes wrong, I'm punishing you hard.
Yeah, Azala was he got the bad end of the stick from Taurusoid.
Right.
So hopefully good luck for Rom and Zan. Actually, there's a question in chat, but we'll save that until after the Taurusoids. Rom also going with the Lina turn red.
Yeah, so if anybody's wondering, for anybody, for most of these bosses in this, all the way through the fort, we're always going to be trying to frog. Ooh. Oh, I thought he.
Good.
Okay.
I think Rom's in the clear. Also, Zan with 2 good dodges on the paper boys as well. So that's very rare to have those paper boys can be quite painful and get the best of us. So 2 really good dodges by them. Good movement from both these runners.
Yeah, on Rom's side, Taurusoid attacked Glenn, which is the ideal target because Glenn resists Taurusoid's attacks, and generally Glenn will have a lot of HP. So he has nothing to worry about with this backdrop.
Yep. Yeah, so those were the setup phases. So now, post the backdrop, now we're going to magnify with Glenn, and basically we're just going to start setting the entire field blue, and we're going to set up for Frog Prince. And we have a minimum 11 AP to do so.
Yeah, and the damage that we do with these elements that also put the blue is very important. You can save time by doing like some turn blues and whatever because they're faster elements, but this damage is very important.
Yeah, because if things don't go really well and say like you have low magic or something, you can't just run up and just like physically attack. I mean, you can, but he has so high of defense that like it's very hard to kill him otherwise.
Zan Lina just got yeeted.
Oh no.
So there's a backup. He can revive, and then he has to go through another round of defending and pray that Lina does not get hit again.
Yeah, there is
1 in 3 chance.
Oh no!
We're seeing the duality of Chrono Cross. Frog Prince being cast on one side, Lina getting double KO'd.
Man, Zan has just gotten bad luck. Yeah.
So 1 in 3 chance, but
there's a strategy that Post Award came up with, and Handy has helped adopt and show the world. Where Lina or Serge will do a cure on whoever gets targeted, and it really helps prevent that situation exactly.
Right.
Where you get targeted, you die, and then he kills you again. So that's just unfortunate.
Yeah, that's just sometimes how Taurusoid can go. Unfortunately. However, Rom pulling ahead though. Rom getting ready to head to the next I guess you wouldn't really call it a puzzle, but getting ready to fight Son of a Gun. And I have faith in Zan and that this one's going to go well.
Yeah, both of our runners have been doing really excellent though in all of these fights. They've just gotten a bit trolled.
Right. I feel a little bit bad for Zan because I was actually watching Zan, I think was it last night, I believe. And he was having bad luck in the runs, and he goes, "That's fine. I just want to get all my bad luck out of the way so that I have okay and good luck in the race." And then he's kind of been given bad luck again in this race.
Just a little bit, but Zan has been really consistent in improving. He's like averaging like a 216, 218 in these races, which is very good, especially for a newer runner. Excuse me.
Yeah, so we were asked in chat what our favorite Chrono series songs were, or tracks. Do you guys have an opinion? Because I mean, most of it's great for me. I like them all.
I think Star Stealing Girl is my favorite track, honestly.
That's the one I was gonna say as well. I was also gonna mention that way back when Handy was actively running, he had done a poll and a competition of the best songs. So this is definitely a highly talked about topic. But yeah, I would have to
There's
say
so
it's Star
many to
Stealing
choose from.
Girl. And if we're doing the whole Chrono series, I mean, how can you go wrong with the Magus battle theme?
True. Yeah, I agree. Star Stealing Girl is really good. I also like what is it? Another World. I like the overworld music in Chrono Cross. I forget the name of the actual song. Is it Time Scar? It might be. No, that's the opening. I forget the name of it.
All right. Get ready for Nightmare Fuel on ROM screen. Deal with Son of a Gun. Oh.
This is the embodiment of all Grandma's past.
Right. So for this fight, there's two types of starts, a good one or a bad one. Serge is going to do a 1-1, and then if Son of a Gun goes, he did not. Lena's going to run up to a 3-3 or a 2-3. As long as one of the threes hit, we got a good start, because now we could finish the fight without seeing Son of a Gun's attack, which is Kissy Wissy and Mode Change. So that saves about 30 seconds of time.
Yeah. Lena does have to hit these, though. It is a little tense.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure that I kind of would like Rom not to actually make the whole field blue just yet, because he really needs to know if Lena is going to get level 5. But
yeah. If Lena doesn't hit these two, because like if you miss a 3, you have to build your level here, and it really has to hit. Okay, he didn't get punished, but you can get punished hard.
Yeah. So what he did wasn't wrong per se. It's just it enables a chance.
Right. Because like what Carbon's saying, what Carbon's saying is that like if you do it in the alternative or in the alternate way, you run up, you see if Lena's gonna hit, and you'll know if if she didn't hit and you had to use more or whatever, whether or not you're gonna have the AP for it. So you don't have to watch yourself do all of the elements that turn the field blue and then also still not get it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but he was rewarded. I mean, it's highly in his favor for to not get punished, but
right.
This is Chrono Cross. Worst, things can happen.
Yeah.
But all in all, really good fight. He hit one of the 3s that he needed to, and we got to skip the Kissy Wissy. So
Did
I don't
Serge
think
get another +2.
I didn't see I saw Lena. She's got 21 magic for ROM, which is really, really good.
Wow. So at 21 magic, I believe I don't know if Rom has adopted the level 6 Frog Prince, but he can, I believe, kill if he had a level 4 Aqua Ball on Serge with the level 5 Frog Prince. It's really good. So
Zan also coming up to the Son of a Gun fight, so we're gonna see if he gets a good start or not.
Have we seen Kissy Wissy yet? I hope it doesn't happen, but I don't think
we did
yet.
Yeah, in the last race we did, but it missed, I believe, if I recall correctly.
That's right.
All right, so potential for a good start for Zan.
Oh no! Oh
no.
wait, 2.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Wait, why 2? Okay, he could still, if he gets lucky.
Yeah, if he gets lucky. He needed to throw a 3 because of that first miss.
He can still do it. He just has to get lucky here.
Rom got some interesting RNG going up the stairwell. The Dragoon Rider went up instead of down, but he still got the dodge, so that's really good for Rom.
Oh, not with the miss. Now he's really pushing it.
Don't go for it. Don't do it. And
he's really pushing it.
He is hoping for a +2 AP, which I think the max he get is +3 or something. Also, right there. Yeah. Okay, he ran.
Okay. Better late than never.
Yeah. I think he could have just defended it out or got leveled and seen it. So it's okay.
He did although he did use 2 blue elements already. I don't. It would have been. How many do you have? I have to remember the menus, but
you have 4 level 1s between Serge and Glenn, so he could have made it work with Lena. but he definitely would have seen Kissy Wissy.
Okay, better start.
Yeah, this is ideal. All right, now we gotta
Also-
see Rom with his bunyip.
He got a
He's
good
doing
AP
the
start.
1-5. It looks it,
So
yeah,
he should be good.
good.
Like even if his Ice Blast doesn't kill, it will because he has such high magic. But even if it didn't, he'd be good.
Yeah. Oh, 465.
Yeah.
Goodness.
The first phase has like I think 420 health or something, or 450. It's like a one shot plus all the damage he's done. But the second phase has 1200, and he did not get 1 rolled or 0 rolled. So
Looks like Zan successfully getting Frog Prince out against Son of a Gun. Not dying, but
What
it should
the
be
heck?
close. He did 345.
what the
Oh.
heck?
So he must have a low.
He must have
What?
15 magic or not have moved a Dragoon on her or something.
Yeah, something. It's very close, and that's unfortunate because he's gonna walk up and he's probably gonna kill with like another Glen 1, but he had to see
Yeah.
both these elements for it.
Yeah. There it
It's
is.
very close because he did
845
345 with Frog Prince alone, and Son of a Gun has 383 health total.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if on
Unfortunate.
Rom's screen if Frog Prince knocks out Bunyip.
He's got to be 14 or 15 magic. Because, yeah. At 15, you need to do a bunch of chip damage.
972.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. No, just...
Oh, he got one stamina from that defense.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a 10. Yeah.
So Lena did have 15 magic on Zan's screen. That explains what happened with Son of a Gun.
Is he gonna illuminate?
It's
Probably
fine.
like,
I don't... He
yeah,
didn't
it's
need
fine.
to.
Right.
He was, like, within 100 damage, maybe less. But it's okay.
Yeah,
So,
you have to do it.
Yeah. The big thing is he wasn't even close to getting Inferno, so... And he has such a lead right now, so...
No runner here would ever be that close to getting Inferno.
Never happened.
That would never happen. I'm waiting for an Azala chat.
Yeah, he also had a 14 magic Serge, so it's a little close with the level 5 and a level 4 Aqua Ball, but it's you know, he didn't get trolled, and that's what's important.
Yeah, so with the Bunyip fight, Lena's job
Ooh.
is essentially done. She no longer needs to use Frog Prince. She will use a Bush Basher attack on General Viper, but other than that, she's going to play support in the next
Ooh.
Oh, good
lots of
dodge.
fights.
Both
Did they both
runners,
get dodges?
yeah. So
Oh,
Rom's
that's-
Corp called it out, but Rom's Dragoon, very in a rare sense, ooh, bad bat, had walked up the stairs, so he was able to just slide on by. And Zan got a good positioning as well, so both runners able to dodge the Dragoon.
So Rom, I
Rom-
saw you at 25 strength for Glenn, just so you know. Rom's asking the
Rom
question.
asking in chat.
That's
Hey,
what
some-
that's what
yeah.
every Chrono Cross runner does. What stat am I at? I didn't see.
Yeah, it's hard to pay attention sometimes. No shame.
Hey, I respect it.
No shame, no
Also,
shame.
I'm not gonna say it until after Rom is done with his next fight. But we'll see.
Zan is with that extra 1 on Lena. He's getting close to the Inferno, so hopefully Glenn does not miss.
You can do it. All right.
All right, very good.
So
This is scary.
A bunch of Chrono Cross runners. Oh, okay, good. He didn't defend there. That would have been very sketch.
Okay, good.
Yeah, you can see that big difference in the magic damage. Zan's Lena did 360 damage, whereas Rom's did 465. So 100 damage difference.
yeah, Zan going into the second phase. Let's hope he doesn't get okay. No 0 roll. I started saying it, and I was like, wait, if he gets zeroed in a mid sentence.
Ooh, really good AP. Really good AP on the second phase.
Yeah,
I
so
would have
Rom-
liked to. I would have liked
Okay.
to see Lena do a 2-3 there. just to try to maximize what he can do, but he should still be fine.
Yeah, so Rom's starting the General Viper fight. We start this fight off with an Eagle Eye and Strength into Glenn, because they are opposing elements, so Glenn will do extra damage to General Viper. And with his Strength at, I think, 25, I think he got the good start, too. So he should be able to skip G-Force. We'll see. And Lena's Magic is great, so yeah, he could probably do a 2 or a 3 here for Glenn. And then Sonic Sword.
Yeah,
Alright,
I think
good
this
fight.
should do it. Yep.
Odd, that Frog Prince damage. 724. I don't think this Luminaire is going to kill.
It depends on Serge's magic, but if he does like 280, 270-ish, I think he should be fine, but we'll see.
Oof.
Hey, a
Rom
runner
not
got the
handy dropped.
gauntlet.
Handy. Hopefully your curse is worn out, but God. So that's the magic, like not. Ooh, nice
Uh-oh.
crit. That might.
Okay.
Let's
Oh,
go.
whoo!
Okay, nice,
That
Zan.
was good job, Zan. Nice.
Risky,
Crit
but paid off.
Also, coming up for Rom is the last fight of this run. Lynx 2 is coming up.
So like
Generally not
before-
too bad of a fight.
I was gonna say, like before, we're gonna start this fight with a Strength and Eagle Eye on Glenn, but in addition, we're gonna turn Glenn white. Lena's gonna take her turn. And after we do that, Lena no longer matters in the fight. She's just there to absorb hits. But Glenn is gonna be doing most of the damage, and Serge is gonna include some chip damage against Lynx. But with his Strength, if Glenn gets a crit, he will definitely save time. But 26 Strength on Glenn is really good for this fight, so shouldn't have any trouble.
With the way that Rom just did this Lynx fight, he's not going to be able to defend Serge, especially after him getting glide hooked. So he's really hoping that Lynx does not hit him. Otherwise,
Right.
he's dead. He's just a nice crit though.
Oh, nice.
Ooh, he's fine. Okay. Well, at least for now. Serge
And
getting glide
last one
hooked in the
after
beginning.
Glenn.
Yeah.
Three, and then on the next round, as long as
Yeah.
Serge doesn't miss his attacks, he should be able to KO Lynx. Normally, if you don't have enough strength on either character, or lack a crit, you would end the fight with an X strike between Serge and Glenn, but you shouldn't have to do that.
Hey, GG
GG.
Rom.
GG.
Yeah, just after
I
this
don't know what-
menu. It's good.
I don't know what Rom's PB is, but that feels like a pretty good run from
That's a
him.
good pace.
Yeah.
And time for Rom. 1649. GG, Rom.
Good job, Rom.
Oh my God, I'm just looking at his stream. He got so many golds in that. That is a minute PB for him.
Nice.
He PB'd. Let's go. Nice.
Yay.
PB.
That's 2 PBs this tourney. Good stuff.
Also, Zan coming into the Viper fight, not far behind.
No, this was really close. Just some really unfortunate fights from Zan.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
having to run.
It was close all throughout the run, which is pretty great. It would flip-flop between Zan and Rom, who had the lead.
Yeah, and the and that third key. But yeah,
Yeah.
mostly the fights.
I think it was the Lena magic that really made the difference because Zan was ahead coming into the tower by about like 40 seconds, and
Right. Yeah. No. It was going back and forth like several points throughout this run.
Yeah, I think the biggest like end of it was kind of that son of a gun not killing on the Frog Prince, like just, and that's the magic that you're talking about.
That's also it's kind of key to mention. I'm pulling a doc here that he got third key on the ship.
Yeah. But, yeah, Zan should still have a really good time and competitive with the last runners as well. So
Right.
actually, did Did they get any extra encounters that weren't needed?
Just at the start, both
Just
of
at
them
the
hit a
start.
bat, but they
The
had
dream
good dodges
sequence.
overall.
Yeah, very clean movement.
Let's go. Zan moving. Got the gauntlet. Both runners getting the gauntlet this time. I just stole the other gauntlets from the other 2 runners prior.
How could you?
The curse only extends so far.
But yes, I mean, I know that we're at the end of this category, but you know, if you were to continue for the any percent, right? This is where spoilers, we switch bodies and we go from trying to get back to our universe, our world, and now we have to get our body back too. And
Right.
everything just escalates from there.
Actually, wouldn't have been surprised if Rom had just taken this run and tried to turn it into a PB any percent. He's doing really good.
Yeah, he could have. His Surge looked like it had a high strength as well.
Right.
Yeah. Actually, I think Evil Ash's old world record with his 48 back in the day.
Zan getting hit with a glide hook in the face as well with Serge. He's got 94 health in the first turn.
Yeah. You should be able to defend.
Yeah.
But yeah, the
Look,
old world
Serge
record.
talked.
Yeah, so I think Zan had a 22 strength Glen, so he's doing significantly less damage.
Well, what a good
against Lynx.
defense.
Yeah, that defense saved his life.
He can still die if he gets aqua balled, but there's really not much he can do about it.
Yeah, that's just Lynx targeting Surge 3 times. You kind of just accept, like,
Yeah.
that it happens.
Went for Lena. So yeah, even if he takes out Surge, Glenn can finish the fight by himself. He could do like a 3/3 Sonic Sword or
Right.
something at the end, just in case Surge gets taken out.
Well, he's interested in killing Lena now. Oh,
That was funny. Both their streams, Lynx was attacking, but this, Rom's Lynx was him.
I think that's GG for Zan as well.
Yep.
GG's.
Time is
GG,
coming
Zan.
up after. Yep. And time.
21:33. Very
Let's
close.
go, Zan. Let's go, Rom. Good race, guys.
Good race.
Very good race.
All the races today were really good. Or both the races. I really enjoyed that. Runners did a really good job.
Agreed. You're in more trouble than I thought. You did it. Okay.
GG's again to all the runners and commentating. Especially Handy Corp and our corporate image, Handy and Carbon doing double duty for today. It's been very enjoyable to listen to.
Yeah, this was really fun.
Alright, so that takes care of the Lynx 2 round robin round 1 matches. We'll be back August 7th at 4 p.m. EDT for our very own Carbon Dank versus PH and with a bunch of numbers on the end. I always forget the order. Thank you everyone for tuning in. This has been super fun to put on and just lurk in the backgrounds and listen to everyone have a good time. Chat looked like they were having a good time. I'm going to throw the raid, throw everyone to Keat Ketchum. He's doing Chrono Trigger, any percent no LSS. Give him a good hello, very good runner. Round 2 is next weekend. August 7th is going to be Carbon versus PH, and then August 8th is Kizu versus Corporate Image. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you commentary and runners for participating in the event.
Yep. Thank you, Dine, for helping run it.
Yeah, thanks, Dine.
Thanks, Don.
Thanks, Ryan. Thanks, everyone.
Everyone, have yourselves a good night. Be safe, and we'll catch you next time.